JMO gets paid. JMO getting paid. What's it mean for his week one value? It means he just went up in value because people are fickle. And not in a bad way here, but people will react to this. So good luck trying to get him in a trade. JMO is in for a nice season. Very nice season. There's no shade on JMO here. Tesla is also a very good option. I do believe the Detroit Lions take a baby step backwards overall, but because they might struggle a little more than normal to dominate the average game, they'll be throwing from behind a little more often. They'll be playing in a shootout environment a little more often. So that's good for JMO. That's good for Tesla. That's good for St. Brown. That's good for Gibbs catching footballs. Targets are much more attractive than carries anyway, so Gibbs getting more work. It's going to be pretty good for the Detroit players from a fantasy perspective. One could say there's even maybe more potential garbage time value overall, gives some of these guys more of a chance to score fantasy points. But I do think the Lions could struggle wins and losses or just, dominating a game. Very good for JMO. We'll talk about what you would do with him off this news if there's any sort of angle you could play in fantasy. Travis Hunter going to the mother freaking moon in week number 1 as well.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
To the moon.
To Mars!
No.
To Saturn.
Nope.
To Jupiter.
That's more like it.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Buckied. Buckied. Oh, Bucky.
Yeah.
Get your Bucky bath in. No excuses for not taking a Bucky bath the night before kickoff. Look, Bucky Irving is going to explode this year. We got a lot to cover. Where's my Bucky graphic? I didn't even put Bucky up on screen yet. He's on the headline in the thumbnail and everything, but I didn't have his graphic ready. Let's move Christian McCaffrey out of the way. We'll talk about him later again. We'll put Bucky right where he belongs at the top of the screen. We'll put Travis Hunter slightly down below, Bucky right here. And let's move this over on Bucky's mug right here. Bucky's going to have a day. House call Bucky might be in order, nickname-wise, walking into 2025 week 1 because there's a report out that Bucky is angry and Bucky's pissed off and Bucky's mad that teams passed on him. And Bucky said that when he faces a team, and really that's all 31 teams, that passed on him, he has a sense of anger and aggression, and he's going to punish them. So Bucky's exact phrase was, quote, punish them. Punish the teams that did not draft me. So that's 31. That means that, okay, what team maybe passed on me today? Oh, it's the team I'm facing. Every team he faces passed on him. So he will literally, as he said, punish every team on Sundays, Mondays, occasional Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays that passed on him. And anybody that thinks Bucky is not capable of being Bucky, a running back, we'll call it 1 to 5. We'll call it 1 to 5. If you don't think he could be a capable top 5 running back, but inside this 1 to 5, I just don't know that you watch much football. And that's okay. It's not your fault. But maybe you're in the wrong building. Maybe you need to go down to the Mickey Mouse show down the street that's going to go, I like Bucky, but I got to see it happen again. So we're going to go ahead and pass on this top 14, 15, 16, 18 overall value. and I'll let someone else take the risk. I'd rather take the Derrick Henry. I'd rather take the Christian McCaffrey. When McCaffrey's on the field, what is it, Steve? Oh, Bob, that's a great question. When McCaffrey's on the field, he's the best player in the league when he's healthy and on the field. If that's the advice you want, you turned right when you meant to turn left. Bucky is the new Christian McCaffrey. Bucky's the new show in town. And Bucky has top 5 value, whether you want to believe it or not. And this man's punishing teams, as he said in the quote today. So I don't know what else could excite you more than that. I don't think there is anything that can excite you more except for this.
Get buckied. 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 Oh, Bucky.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You guys, but feeling pretty good about the Bucky bath these days. So, as I was saying, Bucky's gonna explode. As far as Williams goes, this is one of those pieces of news that triggers a belief system in a player. Burrow gets his big extension. Now Burrow's accepted. Kyron Williams gets paid, even though we know Kyron Williams is going to do what Kyron Williams is going to do. So J-Mo getting paid, if you had any aspirations of trading for him, probably not going to happen. His owners love him anyway. He's just one of those players that loves that gets, you know, the unanimous love and support of the fantasy football fan and community. And he's an exciting player, no doubt. And the question I get sometimes is, Smitty, is it possible that J-Mo could outscore Amon-Ra St. Brown in any given season? And I don't want to say that that's on my mind. I'm not drafting J-Mo expecting that. But keep in mind that St. Brown plays a little bit like Pacheco and George Kittle and Puka Nacua. Aggressive. Oftentimes has some sort of report that during any given season that he's ripping the muscle off the bone, you know, when he's playing with a fractured rib or something. And so St. Brown is very, very aggressive to his own body. And it is not hard to imagine 3-4 missed games for Amon-Ra St. Brown. And this guy stepping in and having one of those remarkable 4 or 5 game stretches that might honestly vault him above, you know, a St. Brown. So there's certainly that possibility. I would say that the only concern I would have if your expectation is too high and you're drafting him, this guy didn't belong in round 3. It's where you get him. We love J-Mo. There probably was no channel. I at least believe this to be true, and I don't know that I could actually validate it, but I believe there probably was no channel higher on trading for Jameson Williams from week 1 on. This is a league winner for this channel. People won leagues based on the go trade for James Cook, go trade for Jameson Williams. This was last year. People might say, Smitty, you're constantly trying to trade James Cook. That's different. It's adjust and adapt. James Cook costs you 3rd round value right now, top of round 3. Jacobs was one of this channel's biggest predictions, and that wasn't week 1 on. That was all offseason. But Jacobs, we're not drafting. I'm not drafting in round 2 this year. It's all adjust and adapt. And these players come into new seasons with different valuations and different costs of entry. There was no channel higher, in my honest, humble opinion, higher on Jacobs, J-Mo, and James Cook last year. Not big on James Cook this year. I loved JMO this year. I just didn't like when he would get drafted in the 3rd, 4th round turn. Just like I like Ted McMillan a lot. But I'm forced to say negative things about Ted McMillan when he goes at 3.11 or 4.2. You know, when Ibuka's not even going there, and we like Ibuka more than Ted McMillan overall on this channel. Most everybody watching does in this community. That's a diehard in this community. But JMO is no longer being drafted. Right now, JMO is either on your team or you're acquiring him via trade. This news will not help you acquire him via trade. If you already own him, I'm very excited about him for you. I think he could be a marvel on the field. Did not deserve 3rd round value. He could earn that, but you're paying such a high cost of entry. You're leaving yourself no room for error. But neither here nor there. You have him right now. You've got 2 options. You hold him. You say, thank you, sir. You shove him out onto the field, and he produces very high-end wide receiver 2 numbers, has cups of coffee with the wide receiver 1s, and you just end up, winning your week after week after week. And again, if St. Brown goes down, he has a packaged in, sleeping giant, you could almost say sleeper activated capability of being a true elite wide receiver 1 if St. Brown ever misses time. That's just an extra added bonus. It's a sleeping mechanism inside his value. Just like Ollie Gordon is a very good flex play probably all year long. And in fact, I think he's a great play this week, tomorrow. And Ollie Gordon is somebody that I love, but he has a sleeping mechanism inside his fantasy value that if Achane ever went down, he goes to the top 5 to 10 running back rankings and valuation. JMO, very, very solid value if you didn't draft him in 3 or something ridiculous. He's baked in to have a very good season, and the sleeping mechanism makes him a top 10 wide receiver if St. Brown ever went down. As far as the uncomfortable conversation we have to have right now, which I'm not saying is something that you're entertaining really, but do you even consider trading him off of something news like this? It depends. I mean, anybody can be traded. Nobody's off limits unless you're probably Travis Hunter on my roster. I don't know that I could trade Travis Hunter. I really don't. I think maybe this might be my kryptonite. If you were to come up to me and say, Smitty, I'll give you I think I'd just be like, stop talking. And I'd just walk away. I don't want to be tempted. Stop eating the ice cream in front of me. I'm trying to lose weight. It's that kind of scenario. I just walk out of the room. I don't want to be tempted. It's my kryptonite. Don't want to trade Hendy. Don't want to trade Hunter. Don't set something in front of me that I ended up making a trade the other day in a fall or a dynasty league that's lingering from years past. And it's one of those smaller leagues. We did a mock draft and we started a dynasty league. It's not the official dynasty channel league that we drafted the other night. It's just another dynasty league we started many years ago. A lot of people fell out of it. I just still stay in it. It's fun to, hang out with those guys from the olden days when we started the channel. And I traded I traded RJ Harvey for McBride. I mean, it's a good trade. It's dynasty. I took McBride. But I pulled up the app today and I was looking at my lineup. I'm like, oh, this is the one where I have Harvey. I gotta make sure he's in my lineup because I'm feeling really good about Harvey tomorrow. And I don't see Harvey anywhere. Where's he? Scroll to the bench and I look and I don't see Harvey. I'm like, no, did I cut him? What happened? Last night I was dozing off with the phone in my hand and I kept falling. I was trying to do some things and I kept falling asleep. You ever do that? I'm on such little sleep. And I was like that. And I remember I better close my app because I might drop somebody or something. So I closed the app, but I wasn't sure. So I'm combing through the roster. And then I go to transactions. I'm like, maybe I cut him. And I see McBride and Harvey trade. And I'm like, oh, this is the league where I traded Harvey for McBride. And it is such a good trade. But I'm just crushed and devastated looking at it. It makes me sick that I can't start Harvey tomorrow, even though it's such an amazing trade. I don't know what to tell you guys in terms of this type of situation. You don't want to trade JMO. I don't want you to trade JMO. But this news does something to some individuals. And some people are so, fear of missing out. When they see something like this happen and the player's starting to rise in value, you might get some pokes like, hey, what do you want for J-Mo? Because they clearly believe in him. He's staying. This offense is great. I wasn't sure if he was going to leave this offense in this environment. I like what the setup is here. You got to entertain it. You know, if someone's willing to give you something like I got McBride, you got to take it. It is what it is. And at the end of the day, you could just say no if it's not too good to be true. And this goes for anybody. If some of you have Christian McCaffrey right now, and you're wondering, and we haven't even got to the J-Mo contract. Let me spit that out real quickly, and then we'll move on. Lions wide receiver Jameson Williams reached an agreement on a 3-year extension worth up to $83 million. This is a fantastic amount of money that this kid's getting, and he's been kind of a problematic. What the heck? My Twitter account is all locked up right now. I'll have to look and see what the hell's going on there. I think I might have had this in my pocket. Let's see here. I got to figure this out later. Okay. Anyway, I must have logged out of my Twitter account, so I was trying to pull something up. What I was saying was, what was I saying? Damn it. What was I saying? Mike, stop. No one cares about the Bears right now. Mike, they see it coming from a mile away. You got your Bear, your Caleb Williams, your Bear profile photo. You're like, everybody, bear down, everybody in the chat. Caleb to the moon. Caleb's going only one place tomorrow, bro.
And off he goes to the planet known as Uranus.
Long time coming, but Mike, you can blame yourself for even mentioning that right now. I don't know why he hasn't been on this list. He is now. He's officially now on planet Uranus, as is Mixon, as is McCaffrey. What was I even saying before I rudely interrupted myself? You were saying that is a great amount of money for J-Mo. Oh, yeah. So Jameson Williams. Oh, I was going to go get the details of the contract. That's why I pulled up Twitter. It says using. What am I supposed to do here? Person to get the seat. Hold on, I'm trying to find the details. Of the contract. Okay, here we go. I'm logged back into my Twitter account. Let me just pull it up here. Okay, here it is. Deals to J-Mo's contract. 3-year, $83 million, $67 million guaranteed extension. Phenomenal. $67 million guaranteed. So it's a lot of money. I think that's where, I was saying something about that. Huge contract, huge commitment for the kid. And definitely is something to make you feel pretty comfortable in his dynasty value, right? Because you know where he's going to be now. You know he's not. That was kind of the thing. Is he was kind of problematic off the field type of vibe. This organization's been very hesitant to give him a long-term extension. That's at least the word. They've been wondering if they want to fully commit to him. Do they want to trade him? And so from a dynasty perspective, you now have a lot more solidified guaranteed future value. So trading him away is going to be a lot easier. You're definitely going to run into more people that will want to potentially acquire this kid. So very, very intriguing prospect. Why is anybody else's Twitter completely acting up? It's just refreshing. It logged me out. It's refreshing over and over and over. It's like this is really, really strange. Is anybody else having problems on Twitter? I'm like trying to read everything and it keeps refreshing. Yes, and the algo is a mess. Is anybody's like going on and off? It's like swiping up It's vanishing. It's going. I don't know if anybody else has seen this. I'm trying to literally view all of the breaking news, and it's going crazy. Most of it's about JMO anyway right now. All right, let's move on. Christian McCaffrey, as said down here. First of all, Hunter. Let's start with Hunter. For those that weren't on here on the earlier live stream, Travis Hunter is going to be the every down wide receiver and situational corner on Sunday in week 1. Regular season opener against the Carolina Panthers. This is fantastic. There was talk about him getting 80%. There was talk about him getting 60%. There's just a lot of misdirection. But at the end of the day, this is a player that this team would have drafted at the same exact draft slot, even if he was going to play not a single down at the cornerback position. He was drafted as a wide receiver. Liam Cohen selected him and this GM as a wide receiver. And his desire to play defense is a secondary piece of what is his known value and role with the organization. Let me make that abundantly clear and repeat what I just said. If anybody thinks that he's some sort of defensive back, or that at some point, if it doesn't work out at wide receiver, they're going to move him full-time to defense, I think he'd be better at defensive back anyway. You hear some casual, knows nothing about football, or a Mickey Mouse channel say something along the lines of, think he'd be better transitioning to the defensive back role. It's a little easier to learn at the National Football League level because, wait a minute, I'm getting told in my ear, he was a full-time wide receiver in college. He's not learning the wide receiver position. Then why do we keep saying things like it's easier for him to do this or that when he's a Heisman? Oh, number 1 wide receiver prospect in the draft class? One of the most gifted and athletes ever to come out. Okay. What are people saying? Why do people say this about Travis Hunter? Why do they say things like it'd be easier for him to learn the wide receiver position or the DB position? Why do people talk like that? This guy is a professional wide receiver. This guy was as good as it gets at the wide receiver position and the cornerback position. He's not learning anything different than a normal rookie would learn. In fact, he's far more advanced on both avenues than a normal rookie because he's versed on both sides of the ball. His mind is tooled and ready to understand the defensive back position better than a normal rookie because he plays offense and he knows what the offensive player is thinking. He's more versed than any normal rookie wide receiver because he's played defense and he knows what the defensive back is thinking. Does anybody ever think to stop and relish on that thought? That this guy's on both sides of the ball mentally. So he's probably the most versed rookie wide receiver to come out of college and have that skill set, that ability to understand, I am different. I know what I would do here. I'm going to go here. And when people embarrass themselves and say things like, well, it'd be easier for him to do this. What in the hell do you know from your couch or swivel chair? Oh, he'd be so much better off if he what? Listen to you from your swivel chair or couch as you eat your potato chips and watch Travis Hunter ball out on the field and play 80% wide receiver and 80% defensive back for 2 straight years? Oh, but he could get hurt from your swivel chair and your couch with your potato chips. You think that this guy's going to get injured. Why? Because someone told you? You're repeating what someone else said on a Mickey Mouse show because they don't play ball, or somebody doesn't play both sides of the field, or they tried and they failed. Someone like Richard Sherman might say something like, he's going to get hurt, this won't happen. Smitty, Richard Sherman said it. Why? Because he didn't do it? Nobody's trained to do this other than Travis Hunter. And he did it. And when people said you can't play 80% and 80% in college, and he did it, where are those haters now? Where's the guy that probably said in some live stream somewhere, well, he probably won't be able to do 80 and 80 at the college level. This isn't high school. And then he does it, and then they say, well, he did it in college, but he probably can't do it in the NFL. This is in college. Well, guess what? Get ready. Get your popcorn ready. Travis Hunter is going to prove everyone wrong. And it's laughable that someone from a chair, a couch, or a show is going to decide what he's capable or not capable of doing when he's proved everybody wrong every step of the way. And when people make their embarrassing comment about him having to learn something different than the average player, and they forget to maybe even check that he's the most polished wide receiver coming out aside from Emeka Egbuka. He's the most gifted athletic player out of all positions to come out of college. And he steps into the most ideal situation with Liam Cohen, who's going to draw play after play after play and make him a weapon. He goes to the best organization that wants him. And he goes to the one place that is desiring him as a wide receiver. The fantasy football world was gifted the best landing spot we could have ever crafted or come up with in the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is the best landing spot this man could have ever fallen into. Hunter's going to the moon. Get him in your lineups. Some of you are going to ask some silly questions tonight. I'm going to send a lot of people on laps tonight when they say, should I start Travis Hunter or Michael Wilson Jr.? Smitty, I was thinking about putting in Ricky Parasol or Travis Hunter. Smitty, I really am having a tough time starting the fifth wide receiver on the New England Patriots or Travis Hunter. So I'm just anticipating a lot of laps being handed out tonight as I read these super chats and questions and take phone calls. And I'm even more so going to be shocked after an hour and a half of this, somebody then asks the same question over again. So let's get straight into it. Super chat number one, and I appreciate everybody that's dropped these super chats and is here and all the questions. Let me hit these two $20 haulers straight out of the gate. Appreciate you, Pearson, for the $20 hauler. Appreciate you, Taj, with the $20 hauler. Let's swing on over, and Jesse with the $20 hauler. You guys get bunk bed, triple bunk bed style. Thank you all at once to account for the little time that we have to dish through all these questions and answer phone calls.
Alert.
Thank you.
Super chat alert.
All right, so let's hit these $20 haulers, and then we'll go straight to the phone, or the rest of the super chats, then the phone line. The first one, ladies and gentlemen, from Jesse says, Smitty to the moon, best 4 players for any time TDs tomorrow. God bless. I'd probably say this is a great question, my boy. A great question. Let me see if I can pull this up real quickly. Hold on. I had a list here, but I think I'm just gonna have to spitball it because I don't know if I have it. But we'll just go ahead and I'm just gonna take a look at the schedule here, and I'm just gonna I'm gonna say anytime touchdown. We're gonna go with Kyron Williams. Anytime touchdown, and we're not talking quarterbacks. You're talking quarterbacks if you could include that. I would, that's I'm not going to include quarterbacks. You want quarterbacks? Ask me, but that's easy. That's an easier one, and I don't think you're going to have a lot of quarterbacks listed. So otherwise, it'd be like Josh Allen. It would be Jaden Daniels. It would be Joe Burrow. Okay, but anyway, let's go non-quarterbacks and just say Bijan would be probably number 1 on my list. All he's going to do is score touchdowns. He's at home. We're going Bijan Robinson. I think Genty against the Patriots, I think he will punch in a touchdown. That would be another anytime touchdown. I'm going to roll with the running backs, I think, for the most part on this question. My number 3 would be Kyron Williams. My number 4 would be Derrick Henry. Maybe you could put Henry at 2 or 3 as well. My number 5 would be... Damn, this is a tough one. Number 5 would be probably... I'd say Devon Achane. Bucky, then Devon Achane. And then a surprise one would be RJ Harvey. Those would be my anytime touchdown rankings. Appreciate you with the super chat. Go in order in which I said that, I think, if you needed to pick 1 or 2. Been a minute catching you live, Smitty. I don't know how that can be, Key Wade. I'm live like 9 hours a day streaming. So I think what you meant to say is it's been a while since I decided to pull up the show. And for that, you're taking a lap, even though you're dropping a $20 hauler. You know the drill. You know the drill. The best is when somebody, and I'm not saying Key Wade says this, but somebody comes in and goes, Smitty, I see you're back. Let's do this. Yeah, Smitty's back. Smitty, I like seeing the live shows again. We're live like 9 hours a day. Been a minute catching you live. Still loving the content. Should I trade Puka for Tet and Hampton? I probably would take that. Yeah. I think you could. There's still an argument to be made. Hampton, people are freaking out in Hampton. The only question is, are you going to be able to get Puka for this week? I'd hate for you to then send Puka to them. They get Hampton and you're only getting Tet. I would accept this trade after kickoff so you can get the Puka Nakua value. Although Tet could potentially outscore Puka. It's always possible. But yeah, I probably would do that. I would still then look to maybe flip Tet McMillan personally. That's just how, I think he's got such high value. It makes a lot of sense to potentially flip him. Jesse, thank you for the $20 hauler. Thank you, Taj, for the $20 hauler. And thank you, Key Wade, for the $20 hauler. And Taj's question is $20 hauler here. Lamar, Sharbs, Brees, JJ, Brian Robinson Jr., Evans, Kincaid, Zay, Garendo, Judkins, trade Judkins on the high. Devontae Smith and Judkins for one better player. Trying to get Hunter right now. Who should I target to upgrade my running backs? So if we were going to use, let's say, Judkins to upgrade the RBs, you could potentially give Brees and Judkins or Brees and Devontae Smith for a Harvey before it's too late for tomorrow. If Harvey comes out of week number 1 kind of mediocre, then that's still a good trade. Hampton's a good buy low right now. I do believe Brees and Judkins could maybe get it done, or Zay, Flowers, and Brees could get it done. Maybe you could trade Devontae Smith and Brees to get Hampton and something. I certainly give both those guys up for Hampton if I needed to. Honestly, I feel like Hampton's going to be that good this year. The 15 carries was amazing. Rashad White, I don't think he's very tradable. Olave's okay. So, you throw a Brees Hall and Olave together, you might get something special. Harvey is a great player for that context. And then I'm certainly going after Kyron, if I can. If you're going to try and swing bigger, you probably couldn't get Genty or Bucky from those examples. But if you wanted to, you could trade JJ down to Bucky, Genty, or Achan and then get a Travis Hunter or a Debo, assuming this is redraft, something like that to compensate at wide receiver, Egbuka, and potentially I don't think you get an Achan and an Egbuka or anything, but you could get maybe Buka and Hampton or something, which I don't know if that's even enough for JJ, to be honest. I think JJ commands a lot more, but you get my drift. You're going to go after a combo of players. First, start with the RB, just go down the pecking order. Genty, Bucky, Achan, Kyron. Try and get those 4 guys. And if you do get one player that sticks out with the wide receiver swap, you either give Zay up for a bigger wide receiver or you just get a free wide receiver. Getting something like BTJ for Zay would be ideal. And then you go Kyron for JJ essentially in that swap. Appreciate you for the super chat, the $20 hauler. You are the man, the myth, the legend. Let me smash out the rest of these supers, and then we'll go straight to the phone lines and then continue to rotate through the supers as they come through. Ford, Dobbins, Hall, Harvey, or Stevenson. God, everything's acting wacky today. There it is. Ford, Dobbins, Hall, Harvey, Stevenson. Pick one to start tomorrow. Hall. No, Harvey. Harvey. I do like Hall a little bit more than most people. But Harvey, I'm not going to sit. I think Harvey's a fantastic play. Start 2 between Debo, Garrett Wilson, Hunter, and Diggs. Probably going to go with Hunter and Debo for safety. Diggs or Garrett Wilson's a tough matchup, but I think it's close. But that's how I would probably roll with that. This one right here. Yo, Smitty, sit 1, Sutton, Harvey, Hunter, Debo. Probably sitting, I guess I'd sit Debo or Harvey. Sutton's safe. Harvey or Debo, I don't know which one. I'm probably starting Harvey, but I'm crazy. I feel like it is a much higher risk proposition. Debo is much safer, but for some reason I can't get myself to sit Harvey this week. I just want to be a part of every single game that he dishes out. And wearing number 12, I can't wait to see. If those that don't know, he's literally wearing this 12 jersey now. And I'm so pumped about this for some reason. Number 1, I don't want to see 37 and 27 and just like be worried about the jersey fold. Is that 27? Is that 37? He's changing to number 12. There's really no historical player that's ever worn 12 and played the running back position full time. This is the first time we've ever seen it. It defies what the NFL wants to, which is also rebellious like. But 12 is just an unbelievable number. I just can't wait to see it on the field. I'm so pumped about Harvey tomorrow. There's a world where I'm disappointed. I get that. I know I'm trying. I'm kind of, you're kind of batting blind a little bit as far as the workload, but he is such an explosive player. I can't wait for it to unfold. And even if we come out of week one desiring more, it's not going to mess with my mind at all, because you got to understand how resilient we are. Chase Brown, all offseason yelling Chase Brown. Everything about this channel, we're bigger, stronger, better, faster than everybody. Chase Brown bat. Nobody liked Chase Brown more than we do, or did, or whatever. And we stuck to our guns when Chase Brown didn't do anything in week 1, week 2, week 3. And everybody's saying this guy is trash. We didn't give up on him, and Chase Brown 100% pulled through. And so that could happen with Harvey or Hendy, and look like Hampton might a little bit feel that way to people. They're going to come around. They're going to come around.
Brown. Oh, yeah. Brown. Touchdown. You hear that sound? It's Chase Brown. Chase Brown, 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 Chase Brown.
Honey, what is that awful sound?
Ma, that's Chase Brown.
Mom, you got my Hot Pocket ready yet? Where are the batteries for my Game Boy?
Chase Brown. Chase Brown.
You know, a lot of people ask me to perform miracles on this channel. Smitty, make something amazing happen. And I say, you know what? I can. Watch this. Watch this right here. I'll take this and boom. And then out of nowhere, zoom in on this bad boy. Zoom in on that.
They laughed when we said he was about to be an unstoppable force for all to see. With Chase Brown, get up, get down. With Chase Brown, get up, get down.
Chase Brown, baby. Start to Ibuka, Harvey, Higgins. Also, would you trade Harvey and Keenan Allen and or Higgins for Neighbors? Start to Ibuka, Harvey, Higgins. I think God, how do you sit Higgins? Accidental pick. Well, if Higgins was your accidental pick, man, hard to. Ibuka and Higgins are the safest call. I'd be reckless to tell you to go Harvey over Higgins, but would I do it? Maybe. Also, would you trade Harvey and Keenan Allen and or Higgins for Neighbors? This is like my McBride trade. I would not give Higgins, I don't think, but I would give Keenan Allen and Harvey for Neighbors in a millisecond. And then I'd also trade Higgins for Hunter. So do both of those trades. And then I'm a very happy man. You lose one Triple H and associate, you gain one back. So 100% do both those trades. I like Hunter over Higgins. I know people drafted Higgins over Hunter, but I don't care. The draft's over. Big fan of the channel. The channel's a big fan of you. What moves can I make? Knicks, Genty, BTJ, Warren, Hampton, Harvey, Benches, Benson, Sharps, Mims, Rice, T-Law. I think, there's a lot of ways you could potentially take this, one being do nothing until next week. The other thing you could potentially do is look to move, let's say, can't trade Hampton now. I can't trade Sharps unless you go to the Walker owner and just say, I'll dangle this right in front of you. I'll give you Sharps if you do this. But at the end of the day, I think I'm very apt to just kind of wait and see. I'd love to trade Jaylen Warren in case that falls flat on his face. So Jaylen Warren and Rice for maybe a player equivalent to Rice that's just playing now. You know, like you take instead of taking the 5-game hit after this first game that's been played, you're going to take no hits, maybe get that player that's slightly lesser in their mind, but you think they're equal. An example of this would be like Travis Hunter. You trade Rice for Travis Hunter. Not a bad move at the end of the day. You know, people doubting Hunter a little bit. They're kind of treating Hunter like he's in sort of some suspension mode anyway, because he might not be useful. He fred away. The news doesn't help right now, but maybe the grandma in your league isn't watching the news. And they don't know that Hunter is about to explode and get full-time work, even though we knew he would the whole time. So I'd maybe explore that Hunter trade. I'd maybe explore some sort of Rice and Sharps, or Sharps alone for a player. But past that, you're kind of in a wait-and-see mode. And Benson and Sharps and Rice, all that's going to ferment later. And maybe Sharps becomes a starter, and you can either start him and move somebody else, or just keep him in the lineup, or put Harvey in and go after a wide receiver. But right now, those moves make sense, or holding makes sense, in my opinion. Appreciate you dropping the super chat. New fan here. Appreciate you, Adam. Full PPR, second year drafting in a 10-man full PPR. Penix CD. How'd you hear about us, Adam? Did you just get suggested on the YouTube, your YouTube home feed, just as a live stream that was going right now? And what made you click? What made you click? What did you see, Adam? I just want to know. I want to get in the mind of Adam. Why Adam got into this channel and clicked on it, and what have you liked so far? Adam, please let me know. I love the $10 hauler too early on like that. You appreciate you and your support. Penix, CD, AJ Brown, Achane, Genty, Higgins, Ingram, bench Pollard, Sutton, Scatterboo, Parasol, Addison, dropped B-Rob for Ollie Gordon. Were the best trades. You look like you've been watching a while, so good job with all this. AJ Brown, hard to trade right now, but somebody I'd still actively potentially try and move. AJ Brown and Pollard for one player. Sutton could have a good game, and then maybe you flip him with Pollard if Pollard has a good game. I think you're kind of beholden to the week, and you got to let it play out, because you can't sell CD now. I wouldn't sell him low anyway. People are just upset at him for whatever reason, even though we had a 100-yard game. Achane, Genty, this team is off the hook between those three guys. CD, Achane, Genty, you're good. I think you're fine this week. Higgins, you are literally waiting for Pollard to do something. Don't trade Ollie Gordon. I think your team looks fantastic. AJ Brown's somebody I try and move, but it's going to be hard to move him. I think people want to acquire an AJ Brown when they're coupled with another player. So AJ Brown and Pollard for an AJ Brown equal wide receiver or running back. And what I mean by that is you're taking a bath on the idea that he returns to form. So you're going to trade AJ Brown for somebody that is exactly equal to AJ Brown, but you believe they won't be injured. You believe they aren't a head case. You believe they aren't going down and failing and dropping off in talent. You're not trying to ask for the world. You're asking for an equivalent to AJ Brown, somebody on draft day that sat right next to him in a draft. That's what you want. And when you offer someone Pollard or Parasol now, if you want to do this, execute this now. Parasol now with AJ Brown for a wide receiver that sat right next to AJ Brown on draft day, or a running back, Kyron right next to AJ Brown, JSN potentially right next to AJ Brown, MHJ, and you give Pollard or you give Parasol. You could probably hold Parasol if it's MHJ. If you go a little higher, you might give Parasol. But somebody's not going to do that one for one until you throw a player in. Hey, here's Addison. Hey, here's Pollard. Hey, here's Sutton. Give me somebody even better now. Give me BTJ-like player. Give me a Genty, or you already have Genty, but give me a Bucky. Give me have Achane as well. But you know what I'm saying? So that's how I would attack that. Thank you for dropping that super chat, my boy. Appreciate you. Appreciate it. What did he end up saying? What made him like the show? Let me search for him real quick. Adam, let us know what it is. He says, I'm home. Put me on. My homie put me on. I'm down. Okay, gotcha, bro. His homie put him onto the show. I like that. I like people that can tell somebody about a show and not feel like, oh, I'm losing my advantage. Like the show grows, it's such an amazing thing when it grows, and you guys are all part of it. What moves? This is a $20 hauler.
Alert. Super chat alert.
$20 super chat. $20 super chat.
Thank you, my boy, for dropping. I'm going through all the super chats as fast as I can. What moves to make 14-man chase worthy? Henderson, Sharps, McBride, Mahomes, Mims, Gordon, Hollywood, Tesla. 14 teams rough. Losing Worthy's even rougher. McBride, Mahomes, Sharps. You're pretty good though. I mean, this team is solid, man. You know, Hollywood will step up. Hopefully, Gordon will step up. I'm going to tell you not to make a trade because I don't want you trading Chase. I don't want you trading Henderson. I don't want you trading Sharps yet, unless the Walker owner gives you the world. You know, you dangle Worthy and Walker over his head right now, and maybe gives you some sort of like JSN or MA Shea or something, and you get out of the Worthy game. You know, that's something you could do. But what if Sharps becomes a top 6 running back tomorrow? So probably waiting is the best idea unless the Walker owner is willing to overpay. Because Sharps won't get you what you want from a non-Walker owner, and I don't want you to trade McBride or Mahomes or any of that. So Donovan, we're in a holding pattern unless you can go feel out the Walker owner. I'm starting Ibuka over CMC. Am I crazy? No, you're not. CMC owner will say so, but I not to say you shouldn't put in CMC though. You know, somehow, but I do want Ibuka in there. Garrett Wilson, Ridley, or Diggs. I'm going to go Garrett Wilson. Ridley's got a really tough matchup, but maybe the next week we'll like this question better. One running back, one flex. Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall, Sharps, Gordon, Thornton, Warren. Probably going to be, assuming that's Jalen Warren, probably going to be Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker, or you could go Kenneth Walker, Golden, but I'm going to go Walker Hall personally. Thank you for the super chat. This one, Goff or Flacco, I'm going to go Goff. And then Pearsall, Mason, Golden, Bigsby. Probably go Pearsall for safety. Nico Collins and JSN or Puka and Ibuka. I'm going to go Nico JSN. That's a great question, though. Start one, Harvey, Buka, Pearsall. We're going to go probably Buka in that situation. It's a good question, though. And no one's wrong for liking the other answers. Start JJ McCarthy or Fields. I'm going to go Fields. Yeah, I probably would have done a little better at the QB spot, but you could always trade. Make sure Penix Jr. isn't there. Sometimes in these questions, I ask if Penix Jr. is there, and 5 times out of 10 they are. You worried about Puka with Stafford re-injury risk? A little bit, yeah. I mean, a little bit. I think the fact that he's kind of, he's out there without much limitation it makes me feel confident. But I do like Stetson Bennett a little bit. I just hope they put him in there quicker than we think. Smitty, quick question. Why did you like Thornton more than Mims? Like, what made me realize he was going to be a rising star before anybody else even knew his name? Is that what you're trying to ask me? What made me like him? Just his skill set, bro. The lanky Randy Moss style frame made this man drop on the Moon Man list.
Dropping loads in outer space.
And he was on the midseason monster list for a while. But just eye test, it was one of those players that it's more eye test. Mims I like a lot, though. But you got to understand, I like Mims and Thornton. Like, I love both of them. So, Ted, I don't know that you're literally asking me about, like, hey, you like this guy and then you really like this guy. Both of them are on the radar. We love both of them on the channel. But Thornton's just got that exciting skill set, just that it factor. Keep 2 of 3 of these bench players, Shaheed, Scattaboo, Thornton Jr. Probably Scattaboo and Thornton Jr. in a keeper long-term sense. If this was redraft, I suppose I could look at the 2 wide receivers, but Shaheed's in a bad spot, so I'm not really into housing a lot of Shaheed right now, even though I like him. Pick 2 running backs, Monty, JCM, Ollie, Bigsby, Mason. For this week, I'm going to say you're going to probably want to start, I guess, Monty and maybe Ollie, or Mason and Monty if you want total safety. Or, they're all close. I mean, Bigsby too. I really like Bigsby, damn it. I'd say Ollie and Monty for safety, but if I'm being frank, bro, that's like guessing. I'm forcing an answer. Chat, can we vote on that? Monty, Ollie, Bigsby. What was the other one? Chat, please vote on this one. Pick 2. Monty, JCM, Ollie, Bigsby, Mason. Pick 2, please. Honestly, Bob, I would go with the chat consensus even over me, because this is one of those ask the audience and the millionaire where you're pretty sure you know the answer, but you're going to ask the audience, and the audience is what you're going to roll with. Just traded Aaron Jones, Dalton Kincaid, and Chris Godwin for Mike Evans and Mark Andrews. I assume this is redraft, and that's a killer trade. If it's Dynasty, there's still some allure there to make that trade. So either way, I like it, my boy. You did a good job. Gordon or Hall, I'm going to go probably Ollie Gordon for high risk, high reward, and Hall for safety in volume. So got to pick your poison there. Starting London, Nico, Igbuka, and Chuba. I'd probably say, yeah, Hall's hard to sit, but Gordon also feels like he's going to hit it. He's going to hit and punch a touchdown in. That's just me, though. Smitty, did you cook up more parlays? We're going to talk about all that in a minute. That 40K one, I tailed, but it didn't hit, sadly. You're the man. Thanks, brother. Is that the Pickens one? Yeah, Pickens not getting that 50 yards was rough. I mean, that felt like a lock. Pickens had 2 PIs. He really would have had 90 yards in that game very easily had they not just climbed all over his back to prevent him from catching the ball. Such a brutal stat line, 3 for 30 when Pickens should have had 90. 1 running back, 1 flex, Kenneth Walker. I think I answered this one already, Kenneth Walker and Hall, or Kenneth Walker and Golden, I think is what I said. I'm still wavering on that one when I see it. That's how hard it is. Kind of got to trust your gut on that one, bro. Tyreek or Travis Hunter. I'm going to go Travis Hunter. This one here, start, sit, Golden, Ollie, Harvey. 10-man, I'm going to go in order. I'm going to go Harvey, Ollie, Gordon in that order. And honestly, I think I've been asked that a couple times, and there's a chance I've changed my mind on that. These are all very, very close, and a lot of you guys are the same teams. New fan says, Adam, thank you. I read that already. Appreciate you very much. Chris, thank you so much for the super chat, Chris. Chris says, 16-team league, that's rough. Burrow, Pickens, Debo, Rice, Igbuka, Tesla, running back Gibbs, Henderson. How do you have this in a 16-team league? I call cap on this, bro. This is like a 10-man league looking roster. How did you do? How about you wait on this team and sit on it for a while? There's nothing to do here. Nothing. Gibbs, Hendy. You maybe trade a bench player like Aldi later if they gain value. I don't want to move any of this. I mean, I wouldn't have drafted Ayuk, but damn, man. That is crazy. Pickens, Debo, Rice, Igbuka, Tesla, Gibbs, Henderson, Aldi Gordon. Who's your quarterback? How do you get that in a 16-team league? If there's 16 people that have pulses and they're alive. I mean, that's just insane, bro. I call cap on that. Yo, Smitty, 12-team PPR, Superflex, Jordan Love or Tua. I guess I go, I don't know. Chat, Tua or Jordan Love, please. Caitlin, appreciate your super chat. Drop Benson for Thornton. No, I like both, but Judkins, Mims, or none. I don't know what these slash. You guys got to be more clear with the slashes. This isn't an and. Everyone's using them as different, like and or, like, you know. I don't know what you're saying here. Benson for Thornton, Judkins, Mims. I think you're trying to say any one of those guys. I would say keep Benson over all of those. Judkins is intriguing just because of the trade value, but I love Benson the most, and I hope he gets into the lineup. Very, 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 very close call. If you felt Judkins, just punch the button and pick up Judkins. It's very, very close. I do think Judkins will have more trade value than Benson initially, but if Connor went down, Benson would be better than Judkins would be if Judkins was starting. Igbuka, Hendo, Hunter, McMillan, Ollie, need 10-man. I'm going to go Hendy and Hunter, final answer. Love the options, though. You've got trade bait on your hands. That is a lot of talent. Mike, appreciate you with the super chat, Mike. Mike says Ted or Hunter. I'm going Hunter in the flex. Have Drake, Evans, 1 and 2. Doesn't matter. Appreciate you with the super chat. Jared, $20 hauler. Jared, thank you so much for dropping this wad here. $20 super chat.
Alert. Super chat alert.
$20 super chat.
Jared says, yo, Smitty, my girl's got Jerome Ford, but Ollie is available. I want her help. Should she drop Ford? Absolutely. Should have already done it. I mean, again, Jared, you're sending a $20 hauler, so I'm not going to yell at you. But, I mean, he's a supernova. You know what I mean? Like Gordon's a supernova. It's Jerome Ford a supernova. So, I mean, I shouldn't have Ollie Gordon on my supernova list or on the Moon Man list or on any of these lists.
The Moon Man.
If
Dropping
I'm not
loads in
willing to
outer
have you
space.
drop Jerome Ford, who's, you know, eventually going to get replaced or hurt for a supernova. You know what I'm saying? So the only reason I'm saying that is just to really emphasize my point, so you know which side I'm on. I'm not trying to not say thank you, but yeah. It's like saying, should you pick up this NBA player for your YMCA team, or hey, there's this really good YMCA player over here. Like, what should I do? You know, it's a very, very easy call. Probably one of the easiest calls I've been asked all month, to be honest. Thank you very much. I just want to make sure my point was clear. Very much appreciate you. PPR one flex. Igbuka, Hunter, Hendy, Harvey. You're the man. No, you're the man, Charlie. Thank you. I would probably say Hendy and Hunter, or Hendy, Buka. As to which one between Buka and Hunter, I don't know that I can give you that answer. You're gonna have to pick for yourself. I can only tell you what I would lean toward because he's so damn close. Right now, I'm leaning toward Hunter slightly. Hendy and Hunter, but man, we could all live to regret that. And we could live to regret going Buka instead of Hunter. It's really, really a close call. Let's see here. Colt, thank you for the super chat, Colt. Young, whoops. Sutton or Tet? I'm going to go Sutton. Good question, though. Thank you. Colt, appreciate you very much. Drop Tootin for Thornton. Loaded at running back. If you're loaded at running back, I understand this. Drop Mims, Judkins, so yeah, I guess I would. If you're loaded at RB, take Thornton. But I personally, in a vacuum, would slightly rather have Tootin, but it's very, very close. Drop Mims for Judkins on the waivers. I would take Judkins because of the trade value alone. Hunter, Debo, Eckler, drop one. I'm going to drop Eckler without much of a hesitation. And trade Debo for Brian Robinson Jr. No way at all. I guess if you're cuffing the CMC, I still wouldn't do it. I think that's such a costly move. Chad, do you agree that even if you have CMC, you shouldn't be trading Debo for him, or would you do that to make sure you're protected? My team is JD5, Bucky, HN, Nico, Hampton. I have Ridley, Rice, Ollie, Javonte, Mason on my bench. Am I Smitty approved? Yes, you are very Smitty approved, and there's not even a thing to do here, honestly. There's nothing really to trade either unless Mason goes crazy. Mason and Ridley for one player. You can do that now, if you're able to, but this team's fire. Do you have Hunter? I don't think you do. You could try Ridley, and you could try Rice for Hunter right now, but you could also try Javonte and Ridley right now for Hunter. That could work. For JSN, for MHJ, you could take stabs at that. Past that, I'm not moving anything. It's a fantastic squad. Hunter or MHJ in the flex, says Peanut Breath. Why do we have so many peanut butter and waivers? Peanut butter and this, peanut butter breath. Like, why is there so many peanut butter names in our life? Did we cross streams with the peanut butter channel at one point? I'm just wondering. I'm asking for a friend. There's so many peanut butter and nuts, peanut butter and scoops, peanut butter, jam, chunky peanut butter, smooth peanut butter breath. I just don't understand why there's so many peanut butter fans on this channel. It's really strange. Did I walk into a peanut butter bar or something and hand out business cards one time? I'm trying to figure it out. Famous Amos, appreciate you. Smitty, I only own one share of AJB. Smart man. How do I approach a Harvey owner? Just say, what do you have, and try and send them AJ Brown for their first and second running back, and then say, well, what other running backs do you have? And then he says Harvey, like, he's not even starting. And then he'll be like, well, like, what would you give me in addition? And then they might say, well, not much. And then you got it and you do the deal. I want it until Tuesday. I sent the trade or sent it tonight. I would just have that conversation first. Like, act like you're going for his other running backs. Make him admit subconsciously or even verbally that Harvey's not his number one and not his number two running back by him saying no to ridiculous, not ridiculous trades, but like trades you know you can't get. You don't want to make an offer he accepts or something. Can you give us some consolidations? I am loaded and need to know who to trade when I'm in a 16-man league and the phones might be open. I don't know what players you want me to say. Can you give us some consolidations? You're going to have to wait. The phone lines will be open after the super chats are handled and out of the way. We have about 4 or 5, but then like 2 or 3 come in as I'm getting them knocked out. So hang tight, and then you can tell me more of what you mean on the phone line. Joe, Josh Allen, Barkley, Bucky, Adams, Jamo, Kittle, Pickens, Bench, Keenan Allen, Hollywood Brown, Igbuka. Looking for a trade. Appreciate you. Probably not trading much on this team right now, because unless I'm trading Kittle for Tyler Warren to upgrade, let's say, Adams to a monster or Jamo to a monster. Try that. If not, there's nothing really on the bench but Igbuka, which I want in your lineup. So maybe Pickens and Jamo. I don't know if anybody's going to pay for that, though. Adams and Jamo now for one bigger, stronger, better player. Adams and Jamo for Lamb. Go after Lamb right now. I don't care if you have Pickens. Go after Lamb. I think that offense will be okay. You could go after like JJ or something using that. I mean, Adams and Jamo is a lot. And then get Igbuka in your lineup. But damn, man, I that's probably where I would head and just kind of poke around and go down from there, from Lamb down. But you don't want to go too far at all. Otherwise, the values are pretty close. 10-man standing. Let's see. One flex. Dak, Gibbs, Hendy, Evans, BTJ, Bowers, McBride, Harvey, Hunter, Jamo, Tank, Gordon. Love the team. Any ideas? Probably say stand down for now unless you can get rid of. I mean, is this 2 tight ends starting, or did you just somehow have to? Because I wouldn't get rid of one unless you're getting paid for it. So, like McBride for London, McBride for BTJ. You already have BTJ. McBride for Genty, Achan, Bucky. You know, and if you had to give up something else like, I don't know. I mean, Bowers should get that done. If not, like you could throw Jamo in and they could throw a player in. Don't trade Hunter. Don't trade Harvey. Evans and Jamo for one bigger, like JJ Lamb player would be kind of a sweet move. We got a $20 hauler here from Jared.
Alert.
Jared, you monster.
Super chat alert.
Jared, appreciate you for the super chat, my boy. Another $20 wad on screen, Jared. Super flex, 2 wide receiver, 2 running back, 2 normal flex. Wow, okay. Allen, Cook, Eckler, Harvey, Dobbins, Neighbors, Bowers, Tracy, AJ Brown, McMillan, Hunter. Love Neighbors, love Bowers, love Harvey. Don't love Cook. Love Josh Allen. Don't love AJ Brown. AJ Brown and Cook are 2 of my biggest avoids this year, even though Cook was a major league winner for this channel last year. So was Jamo. Just pointing that out because sometimes I say Jamo's going too high. I would say AJ Brown and Cook for one monster. Genty, Bucky, Achan. Do it live. Do it well. Act fast. Do it before week 1. That would be the main move I would have for this team. T-Mac and AJ Brown for one player. T-Mac and Cook and do the same thing. T-Mac, Cook, and AJ Brown for a lamb chops or something like that. And then get something back if you throw in a third player like that. But you get my drift. There's certainly players like I got Sharps thrown in deals. You know, you could probably get something like Benson thrown in, or maybe there's another running back that we really, really love. I know you had Ollie Gordon, I think, but like things like that can make a difference when you're doing like a 2 or 3 for 1 and you get that extra player back and they treat it like a drop in a way. Trade away AJ Brown and Hampton for London and Kamara. I probably do that, but then I flip Kamara. Letting Hampton go, but I felt like I couldn't pass up on London. I agree with that, but then just flip Kamara. It shouldn't be that hard to flip Kamara either, to be honest. Jerry, appreciate your $5 hauler. Jerry to the mother freaking moon. Jerry says 12 team Superflex, 10 PPR. Lamar, Baker, Bijan, Kyron, Mason, RJ, JCM, Woody, Bouchard, Jamar Chase, JJ, Hunter. This is great. This is a crazy team. Come on, man. This is like a sports bar like sheet where it has all the players on it. You just check whichever ones you want. Like, how do you do this in a Superflex 10? How do you have JJ, Jamar Chase, Hunter, Bijan, Kyron, RJ Harvey? What do you do? Just sit back and let it happen. That's all there is to this. Unless you're, who's your tight end? Warren. Like, what are you doing? Honestly, Jerry, let's let this team come out of week 1. I mean, there's just no way I'm not even worried about trading anything, and it's almost confusing looking at your roster. It's so deep, my boy. No way. There's nothing you need to do, but just let it happen. 1 million. Appreciate you. 1 QB redraft, 10-man, full PPR. Starters are Hurts, Bijan, Bucky, Ladd, Igbuka, Tet, McMillan, Hawkinson. Benches, Jalen Warren, Ollie Gordon. Garrett Wilson and maybe Garrett Wilson and Tet McMillan, or Garrett Wilson and Hawkinson for like a Bowers McBride. Garrett Wilson and Tet McMillan for a better wide receiver. Lamb, London, those caliber players. Wouldn't trade Gordon unless you're getting the world for him. And you could go to the HN owner and dangle him over their head. But I would say Matthew Golden's a nice, intriguing add-in too. But at the end of the day, Tet McMillan and Garrett Wilson are the players I'm trying to trade, and I'm going as high as BTJ and above. Might be hard to trade 2 receivers for 1, but I want you trading those running backs. And if you can't do that, then just wait for Gordon to do something so you can trade Gordon and one of the receivers, like Tet and Gordon, for something. Otherwise, you got to wait because you don't have the running backs to move. Start MHJ and wait on... I mean, you have running backs to move, but not the ones I want to move. Thank you for the super chat. Start MHJ and wait on CMC update. Yeah, you could do that. Or JSN. JSN's smart. I go JSN over MHJ for sure. And then I go MHJ over Christian McCaffrey if you need another if McCaffrey sits. But if you just need one, JSN. Bijan Hendy would be my running back 1 and 2. There you go. And wide receiver 1, and to just sit CMC out week 1 and start Bijan Hendy and JSN and MHJ. Yeah, I mean, I'd be tempted to put Christian McCaffrey in over MHJ, I suppose, for 1 week. But at the end of the day, I don't even know if he makes it through the game. You know, and people can say that's speculation, but that's just logical thought process. You know, people are so wild with this situation. Big homie, appreciate you with this $20 hauler. 14-team league, non-PPR Baker right now. Kyron, Tank, Marks, Pierce, Tootin, Rashard Smith, Adams, Jamar Chase, Hunter, Thornton, McBride. Did I read this one already? This looks very familiar to the other one, but some of them look almost nearly the same every time anyway. That's a 14-teamer too.
Alert. Super chat alert.
That is crazy, bro. That team is off the hook in a 14-teamer. You clearly need a little running back 2 help, potentially. I wish you had like a Ollie Gordon or a Charbonnet or something that could get that, close that gap later. Solid team. Adams to me. So you've got Jamar Chase and Hunter. You could get by with Thornton. You could pick up another free agent player or trade Tootin for a wide receiver later. I'm going to trade Adams if this is me. Adams and Tank Dell. Adams and Marks. Adams and Thornton if need be. Jaden Higgins I like okay, but it's not somebody I'm racing out to get. Adams and Thornton, or Adams and Tank Bigsby for Harvey. Breece Hall might be a good gamble for you, bro, because you're going to have to go kind of like swinging at something. And so if you can't get Kyron, or you can't get Harvey, you can't get Hampton off of a bad game that people are scared about for some odd reason, then Hall is probably your best chance. 0.5, May, Penix, Young, Harvey, Caleb Johnson, Ollie Gordon, JJ, T-Mac, Pearsall. Thoughts and moves. I think you need a running back too, unless Ollie steps up, which he very might do. Let me see if we have any gifted memberships, because I didn't see the gifted memberships earlier. Gifted. I think we may have not gotten it yet anyway, but okay, just wanted to double check. This is a tough team to maneuver without trading, let's say, one of your... try Pearsall and Caleb Johnson for like a Breece Hall. Then you wouldn't have to touch anything else. Try it for another running back. Could be potentially... Let me see if I can pull up a list of RBs real quickly and just spitball trade. Caleb Johnson and Ted McMillan, or Pearsall and Caleb Johnson specifically, would be probably more of what you will want to try to do so you could keep everybody else intact. But we'll go ahead and damn, the ADPs are already gone. Let's see here. I know what I can do. Let me just go to my thefantasyfootballshow.com and get an idea of what RBs you could potentially go look at. Instead of ADP, we'll just look at the rankings. So you guys want year-round rankings, bold predictions, trade calculators, articles, waiver wire recommendations, buy low, sell high. Running backs that come to mind would be Hubbard, Breece Hall. Those are kind of the ones, the top guys that I think would be capable of being had with that value. So again, I'm going to try and trade. What was it, Ted McMillan? Or where were we? Right here. T-Mac, Pearsall, and Caleb Johnson. I'm trying to go get a Breece Hall or Chuba, maybe a Kamara, maybe a Kenneth Walker. Kind of gets so thinned out. RJ Harvey. Those would be the best options. RJ Harvey might... Oh, you got Harvey. That's right. Yeah. Hall or Chuba or maybe Kenneth Walker. And I hate drafting Kenneth Walker without Charbonnet, though. But you need a running back. You could just bank on Ollie Gordon, I suppose, and then just go potentially move T-Mac and Pearsall. Or you could keep JJ in London, and you could use Kittle, downgrade him to Tyler Warren, and try and upgrade someone like Caleb Johnson or Pearsall into a monster because of that tight end downgrade. That's always a good move. $10 hauler from Citizen. Citizen, appreciate you. My team is London, Chase Brown, DK, Tat, McMillan, Pickens, Hendy, Mason, Nix. Love the squad. Should I trade someone? And if so, who? Not touching the Chase Brown or Hendy value. Not touching London. DK's tradable. Tat McMillan's tradable. Pickens is tradable. Mason's tradable. Mason and DK for one slightly better player. Mason and Tet for one slightly better player. Lad McConkey comes to mind. BTJ, London, Bucky, Kyron all come to mind as players I would potentially go get. Love Chase Brown and Hendy. Again, not moving that at all. I mean, God, Chase Brown, Bucky, and Hendy is really, really solid. But you do need one other thing. Mason and Pickens for one guy. Mason and McMillan for Hampton. Try buying Hampton low. Hampton coming off that really disappointing game. People are so fickle, bro. Start one, Igbuka, Pearsall, Harvey. We're going to go Igbuka and then Harvey, then Pearsall in that order. Appreciate you, my boy. Starting Travis Hunter over Garrett Wilson. Crazy. No, I'm starting Travis Hunter over Garrett Wilson. We've said that like 5 times in the show already. I know you didn't possibly hear it, but definitely not crazy. 12 team, 0.5, May, Penix Jr., Young, Harvey, Ollie. Didn't I just do this one? I just did this one. Thank you very much, M, for the super chat. Hunter, appreciate you. JD5, K9, Sharps, and DK for JT, Travis Hunter, and Judkins. DK, JD5, K9, Sharps. and DK for JT, Travis Hunter, Judkins. I'm going to take the DK, JD5, K9 Sharps side by quite a bit. But I am trying to flip some of that. I'm not just like holding it saying these are all amazing. There's concerns with everything. Warriors, appreciate you. 12-man, Caleb, CMC, Hendy, Worthy, Hunter, Ferguson, Debo. What move should you make? I'm trading CMC, my man. I'm trading CMC for a Harvey, for a Hampton, for a Kyron, for a Genty, for a Bucky, and for an Achan. And depending on how high you go up, the lesser wide receiver you're going to get back. But I'm ultimately trying to get a Travis Hunter-like player who you already have. So we'd be looking at, an MHJ, a JSN, and then the running back that would be an equivalent fashion to go along with it. But you certainly can get two guys for CMC, and I would definitely be doing that. And you weren't able to do that. You were, and then you weren't, and now you are again. So I take advantage while the news is feeling like it's supporting CMC quite a bit. Two questions. Pick 2, Debo, JMO, and Garrett Wilson. I'm going to go Debo and JMO. And then pick 1, Debo or Swift. I'm going Debo. But good questions. And the reason I'm doing that is matchup and such. Garrett Wilson's got a tough one. And Matt J with the final super chat, at least for now, would be tight end premium PPR. I've got Goff, Penix, Bench, Kamara, Hendy, Amon-Ra, London, McBride, Pearsall, Buka. Love everything but Pearsall, Kamara for one safer, better player. Hampton, Genty, Kyron, Bucky, Achan. Do it live. Should be able to get one of those guys. Thank you so much, pal, for the super chat. Thank you all for the super chats. You guys rock. Let's hit the phone lines real quickly. And actually, let's draft first. So everybody go into the Underdog app using promo code Smitty. That link has been dropped in the live chat right this second. It's also pinned in the live chat. And in order to get into these drafts, you have to click this link and sign up now. And we're going to do maybe 1, 2, or 3 of them. So don't think because you don't get into this one, you won't be able to get in. Just click the link. Underdog will match your... Actually, Underdog will... You play 5, you get 50 now. Play $5, get 50 using code Smitty or the link that I just dropped in the live chat, the link that's pinned in the live chat, the link that's in the description of the video. Smash that link. Go to Battle Royale Week 1. Those of you that are signing up right now, you'll get into the next one as long as you're doing it now. For those that are ready, pull up Battle Royale Week 1. They go really quick because there's only 36 picks and they're done. Smash the green button. 5 on Battle Royale Week 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hit the link. Do it live. I'll pull up the draft and put it on my screen. We'll do at least 2 or 3, maybe 4 of these. At least 2 or 3. And so sign up right now by hitting that link that's in the live chat. Code Smitty on Underdog and get that play $5, get 50. All right, let me pull this up, and then we'll answer the super chat that just came in from Sam. It's a $20 hauler from Sam. Sam, you straight up savage. You're a savage, Sam. Savage Sam is what they call him.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Savage Sam says, trade my JD5 and AJB for his Nico and Hunter and Tracy. QBs on waivers are Fields, Love, Tua, Lawrence. So you'd have to go to the waivers for a QB. That's brutal. It's a 1 QB, though. So AJB and JD5 for Nico and Hunter and Tracy. I probably would do it because Nico you draft over, in a 1 QB, you draft Nico over everybody. And honestly, JD5's a great player, but, that's a pretty easy call if you ask me. I'm taking Bajan at the 2 pick. Thank you for that $20 hauler. And then you pick up, what do we say? You pick up Sam the Savage. Chad, are we in agreement there? I love JD5, but it's a 1 QB. If it's a 2 QB, then hell no, you're not doing it. But if it's 1 QB, and I'm probably picking up, man, guys, who we picking up and starting here? Fields, Love, Tua, Lawrence, May. I think I pick up May no matter what, though. Even if we didn't use him, I just want you to protect yourself. Can we please get a vote on this one? Fields, Tua, Love, Trevor Lawrence, or May? Please vote in the chat for Sam. Sam, take a look at the audience. Let's figure out what they're going to say. Egbuka, Hendy, or Hunter asking for official in chat. Let's see. Egbuka, Hendy, Hunter. I'm going Hendy. But really, really close call. Can't go wrong there. I mean, you can. One of them is going to outscore the other. Sam, thank you for your super chat. McBride. Let's go neighbors here. Mono, appreciate you for the $2 hauler. Giving Aaron Jones and JSN for JT and Hunter. Yeah, you're stealing them away. And then Aaron Jones. What was it, Aaron? It was what was the damn trade? It was giving Aaron Jones and JSN. So JSN, yeah, JSN and Hunter are close enough for me. And you're getting JT for Aaron Jones, but then I flip JT. I do trade JT, but you take that value, and even if you couldn't trade him, it's still very, very good. So I took Bijan and Neighbors. Chase Brown and McBride went at the 1.1 and 2.6. I think they'll probably go, yep. Well, is Genty going to fall? His ADP is 27. So he should. Although, drafting with you guys together, he might not. But I like this anyway. Neighbors in London and Bijan. Yeah. Rock out, you're live.
Yeah, I need one, either ETN, Ford, or Jalen Warren.
ETN, Ford, or Jalen Warren. Jeez, bro. Chat.
Right now,
Chat.
Warren got the highest protection right now.
Yeah, Warren does. Jalen Warren.
Yeah, and then the next is I think ETN or Ford. I forgot.
Guys, Ford, ETN, or Jalen Warren. Yeah, I kind of with Adrian. I don't know if I like any of them. Rock out. How did you get yourself in this position? When you draft on Underdog or anywhere, I always see you getting loaded with depth.
Yeah, it's like that.
Man,
It's my second flex, but yeah.
I don't know, man. I guess. I'm afraid of the. I love the Jacksonville running back situation when it's settled. Let me merge this call, but I'm a little bit concerned about. I'm just a little bit concerned about it until it gets settled, because I just could see, no matter what we think, who we like, I could just see the player that we start gets little work and the other one goes crazy. Warren is in a timeshare. They're all kind of in a timeshare. I don't know. I guess I'd go with Warren. The reason I go Warren is he's the starter. And Tomlin's made it clear he's the starter. And the team has made it clear because they just paid him. So it feels like it's going to be the best situation. But I don't know. That's a real tough call, man. Don't like any of them, to be honest. So, but, Warren's at least going to get work. What?
Yeah, another one. Would you play Mbuka over Ricky and Harvey?
I go back and forth. I mean, definitely over Ricky, but I go back and forth between Harvey and Ibuka. Ibuka's safer because Ibuka's a starter. He's getting volume. It's, hold on one second. Rock out. I need a quarterback here. I'm gonna go Kyron. No, I timed out on Josh Jacobs. Not that that's the end of the world, but that's not what I wanted. You want to draft your own team. If I want a computer draft, I just put a blindfold on. So that kind of pissed me off. Damn it. Damn it. Maybe it'll cause me to win.
One thing on Warren is that they seem to be confident in him in the passing game, and Aaron Rodgers does not like running backs that can't pass for him.
Oh yeah.
I mean, sometimes he'll just look away from running backs completely.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, I mean he's the only starter, Rock out. You just got to go with the starter. And I don't think he's a starter. Like Etienne's a co-starter, but Bigsby could get all the work. So I think Etienne. I like Etienne the least in that Jaguar backfield. I like him the least. I think he fits the Rashad White role, and that's it. I think the Bucky is either going to reside in Tootin eventually, but Tootin's really far away from the lineup, but that could take a week or two to change. And Bigsby's the one he wants to give the rock to have him become his Bucky if he can. At least you know what's what. Like Travis just said, you know that he's going to get a ton of work. He's going to be in there on third downs at the very least, but he's probably getting at least 50% of the work between the tackles anyway. So definitely got the most volume. So I'm going to say Warren. Final answer. He's a starter.
Yeah, that's who I had already.
All right. Playing Bowers, McBride, Harvey, Hunter, or JMO at the flex. I know you're not asking me, Dana, if you're playing one of all of these guys. That's insane. I don't know what kind of league, Mickey Mouse league this is, where you've got Bowers, McBride, Harvey, Hunter, or JMO at the flex. Like, who's in your tight end spot? It sounds like a league that doesn't have tight end spots, I suppose. Like, which is even more suspect. But Bowers, McBride, Harvey, Hunter, or JMO, I'm probably going Bowers. But, I mean, I don't know how you sit McBride either. This is weird, man. I don't know. That is wild. Explain yourself. How are you in a league where you got all those players? It's got to be like a 6-man league or something, and no actual mandatory tight end spots, which is why you have those tight ends. And there's no other explanation for it, because you can't even really draft those guys. I don't know. That's wild. That's wild.
Unless it's a crazy dynasty or something.
Yeah, I guess it could be some weird dynasty. But what are we doing there? I mean, you can't start tight ends. You just can't. There's no way, because who would you be starting then? Hey, who should I put on my flex? Bowers, or who you starting? Is this like one of those like retroactive leagues where you can start the old Tony Gonzalez or something? Like, what are we doing? Start the 2010 Rob Gronkowski on the clock. Penix Jr. We'll see how this works. Bajan, damn! If I just had my freaking Kyron Williams, this could have been like the winning ticket. Son of a B. All right, back up, guys, and go into the Battle Royale week number 1 in 5 seconds. We're going to click on it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Hit it. Do it live. Smitty, missed my chat. Did I? Let me see. Hold on a second. KJ. Egbuka or Hendy or Hunter. I didn't miss this. I read it. I mean, we could go back and forth on this all night long. I did read this. You must have took a potty break. I would say I'm going Hendy every time. I have been, but I could easily argue any one of these guys. The truth is, I want all of them in your lineup, and if there is a way to upgrade something, I would do it, because you're going to struggle every single week with this. I like Hendy. I think he gets volume. I love Hunter. I don't know. I don't know that I might switch it up, and start like a Hunter this week instead of Hendy because of the PPR aspect, I suppose. But I still think Hendy's going to catch 4 or 5 balls, so he's just as good in PPR. I don't know. Hendy's my final answer. I don't think I would change it, but I'm very, very much wanting Hunter in there as well. Hall, RJ Harvey, Marv, Buka, Hunter, bench 1. Probably going to bench, Hall. Bench Hall. Very, very tough. You never replied to my second super chat, bro, says Big Homie. Hold on, Big Homie. Let's see, was it this one? Oh, that's the one you just said. Was it this one? Oh man, I timed out already. I timed out on Gibbs. Good job. That's fine. Hold on one second, Big Homie. Let me just pull this up. Boom, on the clock, just in time. McBride. Let's go. Go Neighbors. All right, Big Homie. Your second message was, let's see if I read this one or not. Penman, Purdy, Fields, Hampton, Swift, JCM, Tank, Ollie, RJ Harvey, Lamb, Neighbors, McMillan, Ridley, Rice, McBride, Ideas. Very good squad. Big Homie, sorry about the delay on this one. I didn't mean to skip it. I don't know how I did. If I did. I think I did. Probably starting Fields, obviously. Hampton, Swift, JCM. Maybe I did. Did I talk about this one? RJ Harvey. So RJ Harvey and Hampton's fine. I mean, it's a little bit light, but it's just light now until it's not. Until everybody. You got Ollie's is also a very, very phenomenal potential piece here. I'd probably say Lamb, Neighbors, McMillan, Ridley, Rice, McBride. I'm probably moving Ridley and McMillan, or Rice and Ridley, or Rice and McMillan, just because I want that now value. I like Rice a lot, but I definitely think you can move Rice. Ridley and McMillan for one player. Hampton would be, or you got Hampton and what do you have? Hendy would be a nice play. I don't know if you can get that. Some formats you can, some leagues you can, some leagues you can't. Let me go Burrow here. Hendy's like in the 4th round, in some places in the 5th round, and other places in terms of equivalent value, and in some places the 3rd round. It just really depends on the group you're drafting with, or playing with. But McMillan's got a lot of value right now. So McMillan and Ridley, or McMillan and Rice for Hendy would be amazing, or for Kyron. I personally would trade Rice straight up for Travis Hunter. I would trade Swift with McMillan for a player, or even Swift with Rice for a player. Let me think 1 second. Let me merge this call. Mute yourself. I'll be right with you, pal. All right. Just put it on mute if you don't mind. What other player could you get? Rice and Swift, or Rice and JCM for, so you said Hendy, we said Kyron. We could go for, I could trade Rice for Ladd. I could trade Ridley and McMillan for Ladd. I could trade Ridley and McMillan for Kyron. I could trade Ridley and Rice for
Brown.
Maybe Chase Brown. Probably harder to get Chase Brown. I think you could get Hendy. But, I mean, try it. You never know. You could fleece somebody. No doubt about it. I think JCM and Swift might need to be added. Did I time out again? I did. St. Brown, not bad. Jeez. But Swift, if you don't trade Swift or JCM, it's going to be hard. There's two wide receivers for one wide receiver are tough. And 2 wide receivers for one running back is even tougher. But if you throw in a Swift right now, Swift's got pretty decent value. You throw in JCM, who's got pretty good value. You can get this done, even if you did a 3-for-1 or a 3-for-2 or whatever. So if you went JCM, you could also take Ollie Gordon and hang him over the H-hand owner's head, or try and get H-hand somehow. You could also potentially trade Neighbors down into London or into, BTJ. And then in return, move Swift or JCM up into, I'm going to time out again. Genty. Woo! That's pretty fire there. Gibbs, Neighbors, Burrow, St. Brown, Genty. Nice. And then I think I could get either Evan Ingram, Kyle Pitts, or, one of those guys. That's a nice team. Don't you think, guys, if you could trade, let's say, Neighbors down to London or BTJ and move JCM or Swift up into Neighbors down to London or BTJ and move JCM or Swift up into Kyron, up into Chase Brown, like Travis said. Maybe you could get Chase Brown in that context. Maybe you could get Genty. Maybe you could get Bucky. Oh, H-hand. I was saying H-hand because you got Ollie. So Neighbors down to London. Go find out who the H-hand owner has at wide receiver and try and do that. All right. The caller just hang up. I'm sorry if you didn't want to wait. Let me get these 2 super chats out of the way real quick, guys. 1 second. I'm going to time out again. Evan Ingram. That's a solid team right there. Ingram, Genty, St. Brown, Burrow, Neighbors, Gibbs. At what spot Igbuka? At wide receiver? Oh, God, I can't even talk. At wide receiver 3 spot, Igbuka or Jameson Williams? Travis, rock out of. Are we getting too cute by going Buka over JMO, or is JMO, like, what are we doing there? He just got paid.
I mean, I don't know. You're starting Buka over Garrett Wilson, right? I know he has a tough matchup.
I would do Buka over James.
What? Rock out?
I said I would do Buka over JMO.
Chat, what are we doing there? I know most people call this blasphemy. Blasphemy. But I don't know. I'd probably say, you know what? I'm gonna say Buka. You can call me names. Call me whatever you want. Thank you for the super chat. JMO's a good play, though. And he just got paid. Well, now that he got paid, maybe he's not going to play well. Not saying he's going to choose that, but it just seems to be the laws of... All right, jump into one more. Click the Battle Royale green button right now. Guys, if you want to draft with us, you're going to hit the link that's in the live chat. It's pinned in the live chat. It's in the description of the video. Code Smitty essentially gets it done as well. I have everybody on the phone line hang up because I'm taking too long. I'm sorry, guys. Let me go over to Joel. Joel, you're live. All right, Joel, let me mute yourself real quickly, and I'll be right with you.
Good luck to everyone. I hope everyone has a great fantasy year. And let's go JD5 and Trevion Henderson. Those are my 2 guys.
Yeah, JD5 and Trevion Henderson. That a boy. I mean, they're
going to cook.
Yeah, Eddie's going to be amazing. What else you got other than the obvious?
Yeah, actually, I do have a tight end question. Should I never draft tight end early, so I'm bad. Do I play Zach Ertz, Hunter Henry, Kyle Pitts? Who are you feeling out of those 3?
Give me Kyle Pitts, man. Penix Jr. believes in him. I believe in him. I mean, he hasn't had a quarterback. I mean, how can we blame him? You know, everybody wants to blame him all the time. But
yeah, I like that. It should be a shootout game, Buccaneers, Tampa.
Yeah.
Falcons team.
Definitely.
All right.
All right, bro.
Well, great Sunday.
All right, later.
Enjoy week one.
See you tomorrow. Get on the Patreon. That's where everybody's at during the whole games. Every from the morning to the night game. We're just sitting in the Patreon talking the whole time. Live chat. Boom, boom, boom. You see that? You see that? Ah, they called back the touchdown. Wait, he got another one. The guy gave it to him again. All games long, from morning till midnight Eastern show. All right, later, Joel.
Yes, sir.
For anybody who wants to know what I'm talking about, the Patreon, it's a year-round 365 24/7 live chat group that I have. It's on Patreon, and all you got to do is click this link. There it is. Boom. Join it. $10 a month. Just try it for 1 month for $10, and then you can cancel it. Cancel any time. So for 1 month, you'll have a group chat, especially during this first month of football, for support. And then if you don't like it, you can cancel it. But most people are not going to cancel it because it's a damn blast to have a group chat, that you can always turn to 24/7, 365. My roster is QB Jalen Hurts, Jordan Mason, Henderson, Tracy, Giants, Tracy on the Giants. Well, what other Tracy are we talking about? Zach Charbonnet and Joe Mixon. Wide receivers: Worthy, Marv, Ladd, McConkey, Rome, Adunze, Jordan, Addison, and Thornton. Okay, so Hurts. I don't understand why you're listing Mason ahead of Henderson and okay. I mean, I guess you're just listing it, but like I just, for some reason, that irks me. Because then that your team reads different. You know what I mean? It's like order of, yeah. It just makes your mind process it different, and then your team looks worse because you've listed Jordan Mason. So it just reads as you're not running back one. I mean, I'm not a moron. I can cipher it, but it's just like give Henderson the respect he deserves. On the clock here with double back-to-backs here, Bowers and maybe Bucky, or Bowers and London. I'll go Bowers and Bucky. And now I got that balance. Okay. And then your wide receivers: Worthy, Marv, Ladd, Rome, Jordan, Addison, Thornton. I think, Worthy really hit you hard, but Ladd, McConkey, and Marv is not bad. That's a really solid, but I don't know. It feels like you are weak at running back. Love Hendy, but I feel like you are weak there. And Charbonnet steps up, you're golden. But it's not like you have like a wide receiver one that you can trade and dilute into two players, because even Worthy, when he was healthy, wasn't that kind of guy. He could get you two pieces. So you're kind of stuck, I think. You just got to hope Sharp steps up or Mason becomes some touchdown monster. And if that happens, you'll be okay. If it doesn't happen, I don't know that you have a team that can win it. I'm just being honest. So you're going to have to maybe make some sort of move. Now, you've got Jalen Hurts. That's a possibility. You could move him. Maybe you move Hurts for Nix, or you move Hurts for Penix Jr., and you get if you do it for Penix Jr., you get a bigger upgrade. You do it for Nix, you can get a decent upgrade. But maybe you can turn Jaden Daniels or Jalen Hurts into a Nix and Hunter, or Harvey, and then all of a sudden I'm kind of liking the team a little bit more. I like Jalen Hurts, but I also feel like he's going to get hurt this year. The way that they abuse this man, and the tush push is such a taxing play on the body. I just really think he's likely to get injured. So Hurts might be your only meal ticket to trade.
Really good trade value.
Yeah, and Nix is fantastic to trade for you. If you got Mahomes and Hunter or Harvey, Hendy and something for Achane or Brown straight up. I don't know what you're saying there. Are you saying trade Chase Brown for Hendy and something for Chase Brown? I don't.
I think it's Hendy plus something else for Achane, or Hendy for Brown straight up. I think is what it is.
I like Hendy and Brown nearly the same, but I guess I would potentially lean toward Chase Brown a little bit. And Hendy for Achane, honestly, I could say the same exact thing, because I think Achane and Chase Brown are pretty equal. So probably say depends on the something, but yeah, I mean, I'm okay with that. I'm also okay with trying to get one of them without giving up Hendy. best of both worlds. Dana, appreciate your dollar hauler. Thank you so much for that. And then this super chat here by Freakadell. Appreciate you. Hi, Smitty. Trade offer 1 QB. Mine, Nix, and McLaurin for his T-Law and BTJ. Man. You got Penix, so I'm kind of okay. Or get Penix. I'm kind of okay with BTJ and Penix over Nix and McLaurin. Yeah. Go pick up Penix Jr. and start Penix Jr. I do like T-Law, and I take him, but he'd be my backup. Lots of love from Germany. Absolutely love that once you get Penix Jr. on the roster. So Smitty approves in that context. Thank you, the Holy One. Appreciate you. 18, JD5, Bajan, Bucky, Puka, JSN, Ingram, Hunter. Amazing team. Hendy. God, Hendy on the bench. How do you do that? That's crazy. I guess I could move Hunter into the JSN spot or the Puka spot and then trade one of them. And then get Hendy into the flex spot. So what would you do?
Go get an elite wide receiver because it's an 8-teamer. Got like a top 3 wide receiver.
Chase, Bowers, Bucky, Genty, Nix. I need one more player. Let's go Travis Hunter. Boom. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Travis Hunter and Chase. Bowers, Bucky, Genty, Nix. Woo! Woo, doggy. I like that. That team is straight fire. All right. Jump in another one in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. These feel really quick. And once you get in, it's like sometimes it's like 2 more to start. If you don't get into one with me, that's okay. Just get into the one right next to it. Trade Puka or JSN, yeah. JD5, Bajan, Bucky. Let's see. Yeah, get Hendy in the flex spot, and then get Hunter in the starting lineup, and trade Puka or JSN. So you're trading Puka or JSN for Bowers, McBride. I'm assuming they can only play, Hunter at the flex, Ingram, JSN, Puka. I mean, Bucky and Bijan, you can't even upgrade, really. If you trade Puka or you trade JSN, you could, I guess, like you said, you could upgrade one of those guys. So you're thinking like what, Travis? JSN and Puka for Chase? JSN and Puka for JJ or Lamb or whatever?
Yeah. Go down the line. Offer them for all of them. Offer each team.
Yeah, or MHJ and JSN, MHJ and Puka, and keep one of them. But yeah, I think that makes sense. Just because,
you can't do that. You could try and turn like the MHJ and a Duze into London or something, maybe.
Yeah,
because it's an 8 league. So I mean,
everyone's stacked. Everyone's stacked. So you gotta get someone big facing London as well. Much love. Thank you. Appreciate your super chat. And then the final super chat to get caught up, and then I'm not even showing the draft. Hold on. 1 second. Damit. All right, there we go. So far, I think I got Bajan, yep. Final super chat to be caught up, and then I'll hit the phone line here. Jalen Warren or Monty? I guess Monty. I just think he has a better shot at scoring. So I'd go Monty. But, man, could this be a game where we walk out of Monty, use like A.J. Brown or something like that? Sure. Go over to the 714 caller. Who's this and where are you calling from? You're live.
Hey, Smitty, it's Kyle. I'm calling from Huntington Beach.
Yo.
What's up? I got a question. I took over an orphan in a dynasty league.
I'm sorry to hear.
And I got a guy trying to ask for my 2027 first and Rice for Genty. I think that's a smash.
Rice and a first rounder for Genty. Yes, I'd take Genty.
That's what I thought. Okay, cool.
Is it going to be the 1.1 if you had to guess?
Thanks, man.
No, I'm asking, what is the pick going to be the 1.1 if you had to guess? Okay. I don't know. I was going to tell him that if it... Don't do it! What are you doing? No! He hangs up. No! Yes, it is. Thank you for the advice. See you later. BTJ. Big ride. Kind of feel like he's going to take... I'm going to take Bucky here. If it was the 1.1, then I guess I would say Rice and the 1.1 for Genty. I'd probably rather 1.1 in Rice. But I don't know.
If you're assuming Jeremiah Smith. Yeah.
Well, no, he's in 2027. He can't even come out next year. Jeremiah Smith.
That's what he said, I thought. 2027.
Oh, did he say 2027? I thought he said 2026.
I might have heard it.
No, I probably heard it wrong. My brain's mush. Well, let me merge this guy in. Mute yourself real quickly. Be right with you. Hold on 1 second. All right. Hey, this paid off pretty well. I went ahead and skipped BTJ and McBride. They're both there now. I got Bijan and Bucky. Do I go McBride or BTJ here? All right. Hello?
Hello?
What can I do for you? You're live.
Hey, Smitty, it's the Bruce. I got a
The
question
Bruce!
for you.
What's up, Bruce? Brucey boy?
I got a trade offer, but I don't know how to look at it. My Achan and Rice for his Justin Jefferson.
No, thank you. I'll take Achan and Rice, baby. That's a lot, Bruce. I wish I could get Achan and Rice for one player like that.
All right, I'll stick with my two then. But that was
It's crazy what JJ and Chase goes for in some
I know.
dynasty league.
Not in our leagues, though. I got JJ right now. There's no way I could get that, and I'd take it. I'd take it. What else you got, Bruce?
All right, thank you.
How's your mom? How's your mom, Bruce?
She's all right. She's all right.
If anybody doesn't know who Mrs. Robeson is, she's all right. Is something wrong? Is everything all right? Okay. Are you guys fighting again? Is that why you're saying it that way?
No.
All right. Here's Mrs. Robeson. For anybody that doesn't know who she is.
All right, you're on.
Get Reese or get Burrow. Either one. Either one.
Big fan of the show, and we're a big fan of Miss Robeson. Miss Robeson's amazing. She's given us so many amazing video clips. Get burrowed, get lambed, get chased. This one's one of my favorites right here. This is a classic.
Yes, get Jefferson. Get Jefferson.
Robeson, I have my own. She has her own. Her face is on my soundboard, and then when I click on it, I have a list of all the videos that she's on my soundboard. She's taken up like 7 slots on the soundboard. I mean,
I do have another question for you, though.
All right, go ahead, Bruce.
With that trade, it was because I have Bijan, Bucky, and Achan. Would you take offers for any of them, or would you just say, nope, I'm just going to roll with these guys?
Bijan, Bucky, and Achan? I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, someone could send me an offer. Couldn't refuse, I suppose, Bruce. But at the end of the day,
I think that's why he sent me the Justin Jefferson one. I could hope that Achane has a big game and say, hey, I'll do it straight up. I mean, I still have Ollie Gordon on the bench.
Oh, so you were giving up JJ in that one? I'm sorry if I missed that.
No, I was getting JJ. I was getting JJ. I was losing Achane and Rice.
Okay, yeah, that's what I meant to say. Yeah, so yeah, nah. He's trying to work you over, Bruce. Don't do it. Don't do it, Bruce.
And there's another. Well, this one might be it's a little dumb one, but I have Little Bill, but Samson's out there on waivers. Would you drop Little Bill for Samson or no?
No, sir. No, sir. He's going back in the wrong direction, probably. I wish I could have drafted Genty there. That's crazy. Crazy. Genty goes like in the second or third round when I have to take him, and then when I maxed out on my RBs and I have 2 already, and the RB column grays out, Genty's sitting there in the 3rd and 4th round. And it's like, but this team feels good. But all right, Bruce. Anything else? Don't get worked over.
No. That
don't let him take your babies.
That's Team Smitty, so I had to ask.
Yeah. All right, well, come back to us after week 1 when they blow up and see what the offers are. All right, later, bro.
All right. Later.
Bruce to the moon. I didn't realize he was the one getting worked over. I thought he was working over somebody else.
Oh, yeah. No.
Sorry that didn't make sense. I have Bowers in tight end spot. Also have McBride. Do I play him at the flex or Harvey, Hunter, or JMO? McBride's safer than Hunter and Harvey, right?
Yeah. Safer.
You probably gotta go McBride. Dana, those are nice options, Dana. It's time to pull some triggers on some trades. You're gonna pull your hair out every single week. There's just no way you're doing that. And by the way, somebody dropped a super chat at the end of the stream. At the end of the stream, Travis? Do you remember what the name was? You probably saw it. He dropped a $20
I'll double check. I saw it. Yeah.
He dropped a $20 hauler at the end of the stream, and I answered it, but he didn't respond. So I don't think he. I mean, I did it. I answered right after he did it, and I think he just deuced out. Knicks, May, Neighbors, Hill, Igbuka, Debo, CMC, risk contingencies drafted. Hampton, Henderson, Sharps. Your team is straight fire. Do you play CMC over Debo or let it ride? I mean, you probably wait until 90 minutes before kickoff. You should have your answer. I mean, look, this is the way I'll answer this, and someone might think this sounds hypocritical in a way. I don't think it is, to be honest. If you drafted Christian McCaffrey at 1.5, 1.7, you better play him. Otherwise, what were you doing? And otherwise, why aren't you trading him then? If you're not going to play. If he's playing and you made your bed and you believe in him, then play him. If he's playing, you play him. Plain and simple. I just wouldn't have drafted him at 1.5, 1.7. So.
Oh, actually, it doesn't show up, actually. It was sent so late.
I think I can find it real quickly. Let me pull it up. Anyway.
You might be able to.
Guys, if you dropped a super chat like at the end and I don't see it, it's not like all you got to do is tell me, hey, Smitty, you missed my super chat. Let me see if I can find this bad boy who dropped this right at the tail end. I mean, he dropped it. We were done. We were gone, and I saw it pop up. It was One Man Army. That was it. Love the show. Have HHHH. Had Hampton. And starting Hendy. Standard with big TD bonuses. Need to start 4. Let me put this on screen. Need to start 4. Yeah, about your super chat. Army, if you're here, I hope you're here. Love the show. Start. So need to start 4. Aaron Jones, I assume. Harvey, McLaurin, Higgins, Hunter, Buka. So what I ended up saying was Buka, Hunter, Higgins, and Harvey or Harvey McLaurin. So I'm sitting Jones. But the struggle bus answer was on the McLaurin Harvey. I'm starting Higgins, Hunter, Buka. So chat, are we, or I guess we say pick 2. McLaurin, Harvey, Higgins. Pick 2. McLaurin, Harvey, Higgins. Everybody in the chat, please drop it. McLaurin, Higgins, Harvey, pick 2, please. And what are we doing here? What was I saying here? On this is a $20 hauler by EA Goats, by the way. What am I doing? What am I
Alert. Super chat alert.
Appreciate you, bro. I'm getting 1 vote, Harvey McLaurin. EA Goats, appreciate you, by the way. Hampton Henderson. So, do you play CMC over Debo? Oh, I guess it did answer all that. Okay. Like the team. I mean, you do have a squad that can weather through the Christian McCaffrey situations. I'll tell you that. But trade Hill. Trade Hill somehow. Trade Tyreek Hill. Get that like Hunter-esque value or whatever. McLaurin and Harvey. McLaurin and Harvey. McLaurin and Harvey. McLaurin and Harvey. Wow. Okay, there you have it. McLaurin and Harvey, and everyone's sitting Higgins. You know what? It feels pretty good. So Buka, Hunter, McLaurin, and Harvey. There you go, One Army. I concur. My chat's smart. They convinced me. Flex 1 in a 10 half-point PPR. Hendy or Buka or Brees. I'm going to go Hendy. I think the volume will be there. Is Ward startable versus the Broncos as a second QB? Eric, probably not in a vacuum. Rookie, Broncos D, you never know. These things always seem like they're going to go to a certain way, especially in week 1, and they don't. But depends on your options, you know. So you got to give me your options. Before you end this show, any time parlays, any more parlays? Yes, we're going to go to that board. I'll go to that board next. Thank you, Young. Appreciate you. 12-man full PPR, Buka or Garrett Wilson. And Buka, and we've been saying that all week. All week long. And if you want, these are my favorite hires on Underdog right now. Promo code Smitty. Let me drop that link one more time in the chat. If you want to play these, you better smash this link and you'll get play 5, get 50. Look at this. Play 5, get 50. Play 5, get $50 in bonus funds by hitting the link that I just dropped, that is also pinned in the live chat, but I just dropped it fresh. It's in the description of the video, and if you download the app yourself, you just put code Smitty into the code where it says, how'd you hear about us? And that'll give you play 5, get 50. But these are probably my favorite right now hires. Look at these. Look at these. Travis Hunter higher than 47.5 yards. He gets you 48 yards. How is he not going to get 48 yards? RJ Harvey. I mean, come on. 35.5 yards. How's this guy not get? He's going to have 1 carry over 35 yards. Trevion Henderson, 39.5 yards. Kyron Williams, 67.5 yards. Emeka Buka, 56.5 yards. Achan, 55.5 yards. These are all really, really solid. I do hit a lot of the touchdown ones.
Insane rushing. Harvey or Henderson have that on 2 carries.
I know. I will say, though, the 56 for Pickens felt like a gold mine. He got 30. Yeah, so that's why these are hard, is when you couple them all together. But these feel good. These feel really, really good. I had a bunch of these together with a anytime or not anytime. First quarter rushing touchdown, Ollie Gordon, which amplified all the odds, and it was what was it, 20? $10? I think it was $10 or $20 paid $37,000 or something. It was crazy, and it missed off of the pickings already. I was so bummed because you look at this thing, and it feels like taking candy from a baby. It truly does. Let me find that one. It's such a wild contest. And I have this one. $8 is 9,000. So let me pull this one up. This one, if this is the one that didn't miss already, I think the one I missed already was the $37,000 one. So here's the $9,000 one. So $8 gets $9,000. Oh, that's not the whole thing though. Hold on, I cut it off. Let me find it. Hold on. Yeah, here it is. Sorry. So again, this is all on Underdog, promo code Smitty. Look at this one. This feels like taking candy from a baby. Ollie Gordon. So this is the tough one. Ollie Gordon's the tough one because you got to get this. He's got to be the first TD scorer in the game. So that's what amplifies the whole thing. 0.5. So he has to get one touchdown. He's got to be the first touchdown scorer of the game. Then the rest of it's cakewalk. It feels like 56 yards, 57 yards for Buka, 68 yards for Bucky, 70 yards for Neighbors, 40 yards for Trevion Henderson, 68 yards for Genty, 65 yards for Bowers, and 48 yards for Travis Hunter. So this one $8 pays $9,000. And again, how do you do this? Smitty, this looks fun. $8. I have $8 to blow on something like this. Well, good. Then hit this link. That link, it's in the live chat pinned. It's there. Code Smitty. If you're watching a replay, it's in the description of the video. And so there's that one. Then there is this one I dropped. This one I really like. You guys tell me what you think on this one. This one's really solid. I was really excited about this one. And this is kind of what my specialty is, if I'm being honest. I don't know if it's going to show the actual figures, but I think I can just tell you by memory how much they pay. So here's the one. This is probably my specialty. These 8-player picks are hard. There's a reason the odds are astronomical. Okay, so let's not pretend like you miss on this stuff and you're a failure. But this is what my specialty. This is what I land almost, not every time, but I do really well. I probably win, I don't know, at least like double or triple my money each week trying to do these combos. But I pick 3. I don't do the insurance part, the flex. And I bet $100. I'm sorry, I do the flex. I do the flex. So if you do $100 on this right here, it pays, I believe, $600 without the flex. If you do the flex, I believe it's $300 or $400. So I pick 3 of them that I feel like are absolutely the best calls. And Genty right here, 68 yards for Genty, 40 yards for Henderson, 57 yards for Buka. Is there a chance that 2 of these don't land? Yeah. But is it more likely that they all land or one of them misses? Probably, right? So I drop 100 with the flex. The flex allows me to miss one, and then I get, I think you get more than your money back. But that way I'm risking $100 to get 300. And if I miss on it, I just essentially am getting my money back. I'm not getting my $100 back. You're getting a little more than 100. It's like 1.5 times or 2 times, I think, if you miss it. So dropping 100 to win, almost in my mind, a guarantee in my mind. It's definitely not a guarantee, but that I'm going to get at least my money back if 2 of these guys land, and I'll have a chance of getting 300. So you're profiting 200 a pop. So I do this quite a bit, and I do fairly well. And if, you know, the odds of 2 of these guys not hitting this seems low to me. So the flex play on 3, what feels like gimmies at $100, or you could do 20, do 10, only do what you can do. But I feel like this is probably the one where I feel real confident every time. So the 3 that I chose as my favorite, I'm doing a mixture of all this, by the way. 3 of them, $100, 3 of them. But my favorite one right now seems to be Genty, 68 yards. You know, Trevion Henderson's got to get 40, and Buka's got to get 57. And I put 100 on that, pays 300 on the flex. You can miss one and get your money back. There's that. Let me go back to the full screen here and answer any final super chats we have. We've been live for over 2 hours. I don't mind staying a little longer for some phone calls. Let me hit these real quickly. It'll be pick up Fields versus the Steelers or Tua. Probably Tua this week because of the matchup, but I do like Fields a little bit. I just don't know I love this situation, but it will be a revenge game for him, but that doesn't necessarily mean he blows up fantasy-wise, even if he does well. I appreciate you. Thank you for being the best. Thank you, Samir. Appreciate you for dropping the super chats lately and being a big supporter of the channel. Phone lines are open briefly.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
No full team breakdowns. No full team breakdowns. Yes, rock out.
Would you play McMillan over Debo or Montgomery?
I played McMillan over Montgomery.
And Debo.
I played McMillan over Montgomery. That's I do that. Or, I'm sorry, Tet over Montgomery. I probably played Debo over Tet. But it's close. Tet and Debo are close.
Debo over Tet.
I think so. I mean, it's a close one, but I definitely like Ted over Monty, but I don't know that I like Ted over Debo. But I could argue it. Let me merge this call real quick. Stay muted real quick. I'll be right with you. Yeah. Anything else, rock out? You can wait on hold if you want to think about it.
Yeah.
All right, sit right there. I'll be right back for a final question from you. Mo, you are live, young man Mo.
Yo, what's up, Smitty? How we doing?
What's up?
Yeah, I just wanted to see kind of what's your thought process on Brees and Garrett Wilson now? Like, I know you were pretty high on them a couple weeks ago, but I think you said earlier today that you're like a little bit more sour on the Jets right now. What would you say if you roster Brees and Garrett Wilson for right now?
You know, I don't know what I feel about the Jets right now. For some reason, and I've admitted this, there's so much negativity about it. You wonder as a human being how much you're being influenced by just hearing constant negativity about it. But the only concerns I have is, does this coaching staff, sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire, and sometimes people don't understand what's actually going on and they just run their mouth. But I do worry a little bit about this staff knowing how good Brees Hall is. And if they don't know how good Brees Hall is, do they know how to feed Garrett Wilson? And, you know, there's just a lot of things that go through my head when I'm weighing out options and I'm like, I love Travis Hunter, I love RJ Harvey. And if I can, so when someone says, hey, I got Garrett Wilson, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm still trying to acquire Garrett Wilson and Brees Hall at the right value. But when someone has those players and they can upgrade and I look at their team, sometimes I'm like, yeah, let's move Garrett Wilson. But I think what you're hearing is more so there's a little skepticism in my mind to make that move and not say I'm not trading Garrett Wilson for anything. I look at teams and a lot of people have Garrett Wilson and Brees Hall and they have a surplus on the bench and those players seem the most vulnerable, not totally vulnerable, not busts in my mind, but to couple two players together to get one bigger, stronger player. So I think it's more of just they're kind of the scapegoats right now because a lot of people have them at the end of the bench.
think I agree with you completely. I think the one thing on Garrett Wilson that there is nobody else at all, and so unless they're just going to fall off the cliff as a team and be, historically bad, he has to get a ton of time, unless they just do something crazy.
Yeah.
So I know that's more of a volume play, but I just keep thinking about that with Wilson. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it comes down to the value you paid. If you got Garrett Wilson like I did in my buddy league in the 5th round, I'm not worried at all. But am I trying to, because he's such a late big name player and I got him late and I have a surplus, I am trying to use him in trades. It just doesn't mean I don't believe in him. It's just I got a great value. I look, Fields made DJ Moore into a top 5 to 7 wide receiver. Fields checked down more than any quarterback in the National Football League last year. And some people say he doesn't check down to his running backs. Well, that's actually untrue. Breece Hall, I do wonder if they're considering too much of running back by committee, but I also know that they plan to run so much that you have to have multiple running backs. So as long as they give Breece the right work, I'm not worried about the divide, because they're going to run the ball 500 times. So you can only have Breece run 200, 220. So literally he can't even consume half of the rushing attempts. Now granted, Fields will have a lot of those too, but Breece Hall having 220 carries and Braylon Allen having 155 or 160, like that's what the recipe is calling for. And you can't give Breece any more, especially if Breece is going to catch 60 plus passes. Hopefully he will. If he catches 35 balls, then this coaching staff they're moronic. And that's the only fear you have, is like we've seen the Jets drop the ball over and over and over. And I don't think they're cursed long term, but they're certainly in this mode where, are they making the right decisions from the top down to fix this thing? Because it does require intelligence to turn something around from a hiring perspective. So, do we feel confident in this staff any more than we did Salah? I don't know. I really don't know. No one knows, because we don't know how this team's going to respond. But I do know they have a good defense that gets overlooked because they've been tired and worn down to a nub. And now they got Fields, and Fields will keep defenses honest. And he's a bad practice quarterback. And because of that, people make fun of him and they think he's garbage. He's trash. Look at, he was, 4-9 in practice. And people are all upset about it, but it's when he gets out there and he's moving around, that's when people get open. In practice, they're like, stay in the pocket, and he's not a pocket guy, so he's staying in the pocket and he's trying to learn and absorb. And the other thing too is going up against Sauce Gardner and the boys might be the best recipe for him to go out onto the field and it be easier. It's like having your wife yelling and screaming at you while you're mock drafting, and then you go to the draft and you don't hear it anymore, and you're just a minute and a half timer, and you're just cruising through the draft like you're prepared. It's light work. It's cakewalk. You're prepared. So I think that Fields is getting that in practice. That pressure. He's in the pocket. His scrambling doesn't scare the defense because it's a scrimmage, and it's not. No one can tackle him anyway. So he's got to stay in the pocket. He's learning. He's got Sauce Gardner. The other thing, going back to Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson, and like Travis said, he's the only show in town there at wide receiver. But the other thing, too, though, is, he's going up against Sauce Gardner in practice every day, and it's a battle. And those two have been, there's footage of them, like, they, like, line up, and instead of Garrett Wilson being like that wuss, they would be like, oh, I don't want Sauce guarding me again because he just locks me up and it's frustrating. He literally walks up to the line, he goes, you to Sauce, and he's like, I want Sauce Gardner, come up here. Garrett Wilson's, he feeds off it and he wants it, and he's been, Sauce and him have been going back and forth all offseason. So Garrett Wilson couldn't be more honed in on his skill set, and he couldn't be practicing more aggressively against the best. So Garrett Wilson, like the example of your wife screaming in your ear, or your husband screaming in your ear, just chirping and you're mock drafting and trying to do it all. And then you go to the draft, you got the 90-second timer, no one's in your ear, and you're like, it's too much time. You're like, what do I do? Read a book? Am I like AJ Brown? I'll read a book during my draft. That's the way I think Garrett Wilson's trying to approach this thing. He wants to go line up on game day across another cornerback that feels like light work. So I am really excited about Garrett Wilson, especially when I start talking it out like that. And you start saying, why is everybody that concerned about Garrett Wilson? And if this team is playing like trash and it's not, it's not the decisions haven't been made properly, they're going to be throwing from behind. So Garrett Wilson's going to get more work. I think Garrett Wilson, I like him. And so it's a great question. Why am I down? I'm not down on him. I'm not. I'm a little bit worried about the staff, more so with Breece Hall than I am with Garrett Wilson. But the only reason Garrett Wilson falls into these trade ideas constantly is because you all have him. And we're trying to do little upgrades, and it just works out. He's a nice piece to trade. When you start talking about a guy at that 3rd, 4th round value, that's the player you're trying to couple with another 3rd, 4th, 5th round value to get that 2nd round talent, after a draft's done. So Garrett Wilson naturally fits that bill in every scenario. That's the only thing you're hearing. There's nothing wrong with Garrett Wilson. He's a fantastic player. He's maybe the cheapest wide receiver one you can find. Him and Travis Hunter feel like they're just easy, Debo a little bit. So anyway, hope that answers your question. Not mad. If you got Garrett Wilson, don't think you got to trade him, and I think he's going to bust. That's not the case.
No, that was great, man. Appreciate you.
All right, later, Mo.
Thank you for all your hard work.
Yeah, thank you. Fred, you're live, Fred. Or whoever. If Fred's your dad, then it's you. You're up. 336.
That must be me.
It says Fred.
Yeah, that's me. That's me. It's
Is that your pops?
But yeah.
All right. What's up?
Yeah. I just got to start that question. I got Hendy in 3 leagues, and then I'm debating Terry, Adams, and Terry, Adams. Yeah, would you start Hendy over both those guys?
Yes.
And Zay.
Yeah, definitely over Zay. Chad, are we going Hendy, Adams, or who was the other one? Who was the other one? Not Zay, but the other one. McLaurin, Hendy, or Adams? Just to preface, I'm definitely the rest of the industry and regular human population is probably not going Hendy over Adams or McLaurin. I could probably say pretty confidently. Does that make me wrong or them wrong? We'll find out. I mean, I'm a little overly optimistic probably on Hendy and Hampton and Harvey and Ibuka and Travis Hunter. And like I said like a week ago, there's a really, really almost guaranteed percentage that one of these guys will not have a good week one. And we already had Hampton kind of qualify for that. Even though things looked good for Hampton. He had 15 carries. His coach was absolutely enamored with him. And he was not mad about that play where he didn't slide and he didn't stay in bounds. He blamed it on himself and said, I told him he's not his fault. It's my fault. I didn't tell him. It was an idiot move by me. And he's like, Harbaugh's so funny. He's like, I told him, I'm sorry, guys. I should have told Hampton to slide. We could have won the game. And they're like, we did win the game, coach. And he's like, oh, yeah, we did. You gotta love Harbaugh. He is totally out of his mind. You gotta love him. He's just a space cadet. He fits right in with the show. But he's like, I told the guys we could have won the game off that. We did win, coach. He's like, oh yeah, I know. Oh yeah, we did. We sure did. Well, we could have won there. We could have won it again. We could have won it twice. Oh, you gotta love the guy. Anyway, what were we talking about? Phone caller. Oh yeah, Hendy.
Adams and Terry versus Hendy.
Yeah, what did everybody say in the chat when I asked them? Scary Terry, Adams. Yeah, Adams might have a tough matchup, but he also I mean, think about you got Puka. Puka and Adams are both going to probably rotate drawing the covers, bro. You got to understand that. It's not just going to be one lockdown Ram wide receiver. I think, probably more so will be Adams is getting locked down. And Puka does play in the slot a little more, but hard to really for sure say. But Adams probably has
2 corners anyway.
Yeah, Adams probably has the tougher matchup. But all right, bro. Anything else? I go Hendy, but that's me. I'm crazy. Trust your gut.
I'm going Buka over Hendy too, right? That's what I'm thinking.
Puka? Yeah, you can't see.
I'm going Buka.
Oh, Buka over Hendy. Buka.
I have him in 3 leagues as well.
I've been saying Hendy over Buka, but Emeka Buka is. Oh, but I trust your gut because it's so close. I'm wavering, and I'm even telling you right now, I'm not sure. I feel like
I'm
maybe.
I'm a Pats fan, so I don't know if I was being too biased with Hendy.
No, Buka is safer. Emeka Buka is safer, but Hendy's got that house call. Hendy. I mean, the guy's got a nose for the end zone, man. If Hendy's not in the end zone, I mean, I'm just not a happy camper. But somebody's going to fail us from the HHH and Associates, I think, this week. Even after the Hampton thing, I think somebody's going to fail us. But I'm not going to be worried about it. And you also got to remember, every player has a down week. Like, if you're advancing that down week now in week 1, doesn't mean that they will have you might be taking one of their bad weeks from the entirety of the season. So people are freak out Freddy's, though. They'll be like, if Hendy has 23 yards rushing and 33 receiving and no touchdowns, people will lose their mind. Well, there goes the HHH Associates. Like first thing we came in after the Charger game when Hampton had 15 carries, but he just didn't have quite the production you wanted. When the video was up, but I didn't go live yet, and people in the chat, I saw it. It was like, so much for the HHH and Associates. And that just people talking mad shit about it. But you got to remember, nobody that has the H and Associates players are ragging on it. They're optimistic, they're hopeful, they understand what the reality of the situation is. You're not going to have everybody blow up the first week. Not to mention a lot of these bolder calls we have, we're going to have to wait on some of them. Not all of them are going to pop off in week 1. That's just the nature of it. That's why you can't build a team full of Smitty sleepers. You can build them full of like Jupiter men. But if you go to the Moon Man list right now and you say, Smitty, I drafted all these on one team, that's your own fault. That's your own fault. No one said to go accumulate all of these Moon Men on one team. Nobody. And even if you go up a level to the Mars Men, nobody said to accumulate a team full of all of these guys. Now, these guys are safer. And then we go over to the Saturn Men, a lot safer.
The Saturn Men.
One small
and then you go over to the Jupiter Men.
The Jupiter Men. Jupiter is so large, every planet in the solar system could fit inside it. There are no bigger.
You can't accumulate too many Jupiter Men, that's for sure. All right, got to roll, bro. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks.
See you later. Start Buka, Thornton, or Golden. Buka, not that hard. Easy. Start 2. Hunter, Harvey, Waddle. Hunter and Harvey for me. Not crazy to go Waddle, but Hunter or Buka at flex. I'm going to go. We get this one a lot. You're leaning Buka. I'm just going to say, Nikki, go Buka. I don't want you. I don't want to change your mind. I don't want you to change your mind because of me, because it's so close. I'm wavering. If you're saying you're leaning Buka, I do not want you to. If I said, I'd probably go hard, and you switch it when you're leaning that way, don't even think about it. Stand down. They're so close. Go with your gut. 7-4, appreciate your super chat. 10-man, Hertz, Love, Chase, Hill, Myers, T-Mac, JT, Kyron, and Warren, Ollie, Laporta. Good or average? Jamar Chase, Hill, JT Karen. It's good. It's good. I drafted a couple guys that I don't draft a ton of, but it's not bad. It's not bad. Would I maybe try and move Tyreek Hill? Probably. What would I try and get? I mean, you could use another wide receiver if you moved him. So I would say Hill for. I mean, you throw a player with it, Hill, and you didn't really give me a lot of options, so it's hard to really say. But Hill and, let's say, Jaylen Warren for, I would say, Ladd McConkey or higher. I think if you were to go running back shopping, I mean, you could go to the Achane owner and try and get Achane using, let's call it, JT and Jaylen Warren for Achane, and they see Ollie Gordon on your team and you're not giving them up, and then they just surrender. Would I trade Ollie Gordon to that owner with T-Mac to upgrade T-Mac into a monster, or upgrade potentially so Ollie Gordon to upgrade Warren, or something like that? Sure. But I think the favorite move of mine would be to get Achane. I also love getting Hendy. T-Mac and Warren could get you what running back? Harvey. Maybe Hendy. T-Mac and Warren to get Hendy, maybe. Thank you for your super chat. Alex, appreciate your thoughts for my 10-man PPR. Got Bijan, Karen as you call him. Bijan and Karen at running backs. I got London and Ibuka at wide receiver. Love this team so far. And then Sutton, Hendy, Golden, Samuel, Thornton. Good depth, good bench. You're putting, you're putting your Hendy in your starting flex spot, and then you've got a nice trade option in Sutton or Gordon or Debo. And the player you probably upgrade if you are making a move would be, I imagine, your quarterback. I don't know if you listen to your quarterback, but that's what I do. Otherwise, you're just sitting on that team. That team's so good. I mean, London and Ibuka and Sutton even as your backup. I mean, maybe on the bench you're trying to just accumulate some sort of secret weapon that makes your job harder on Sundays, but you have less options. So Sutton and Debo Samuel for London, BTJ. Tough call, but your team is fire. You don't have to make a move. Your team is so good you can just sit on that. Need one wide receiver and two flexes. MHJ, Hendy, Adams, Buka, Harvey. Probably going to say the wide receiver of choice would be, let's say it's MHJ, and your two flexes are going to be Hendy and probably Buka. I go back between Buka and Harvey. I go back and forth between Hendy and Buka. Probably just going to say with the matchup for Evans, the likely matchup, MHJ, Hendy, and Buka seem the best until Harvey gets guaranteed volume or has that breakout game cementing his role in the offense. Not saying he won't do well. I love starting Harvey. Harvey's my boy blue. This one, Samson plus Tootin on my bench. Samson plus Tootin are on my bench. Drop one for Tesla. Probably dropping Samson over Tootin because you have a potential Judkins coming to claim his draft capital, spot that's waiting for him. So he's got a little bit more, I think, capability of not even earning it, but getting the job or getting first crack. Thank you for the super chat, Charles. With Waller out, as if that was like now that Waller's, who's Waller? Is that former rapper, that retired rapper? Anybody thought Waller was going to, as soon as Waller announced he was coming back and people were picking him up, I was just laughing my ass off. Washington should get all of the Jonnu Waller work all year plus return value. I do like Washington a little. Yeah. So would you want Burden or Washington? Still Burden. Burden's a dog. But anything can happen. Trust your gut. But Burden feels like a kind of guy that just could be used in the weirdest ways by Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson drafted him. He wants him to be a St. Brown, we believe. And I think that's not a crazy stretch to assume that, given what he's dialed up in the past. But Waller retired from rap. Egbuka or Cup at the flex. We're going to Egbuka. Come on, don't get silly, Michael. This is just a wild. This is like, you just came back. Your magazine's late from Amazon, your fantasy magazine, and you're like, let me resort to this show. Hey, first time. I'm just kidding, Michael. But I'm kidding, but I'm not. Michael, I appreciate you. I hope you're not mad. Who do we start? Shaheed or Thornton Jr. or Pittman? I'm going to go Thornton Jr. or Tillman, not Pittman. Tillman. I'm going Thornton Jr. All right, let me go back over to the phone line. Appreciate you holding here. Rock out. Did you have any final thoughts tonight? And then I might head out in a few minutes. We got 651 on the tube, and how many we got on Twitter? I want to say like around 120 or wrap up. Go ahead, rock out. Hit that subscribe button and like the stream. And for those that have not subscribed yet, make sure you, especially those of you on Twitter right now, hop on over to the tube and do it live. Hit the button, turn the bell notifications on. Your boy goes live more than anybody I think you can possibly find, more than a network full of people. Like some of these like bigger network, 3-letter network, organizations that have a YouTube and like 5 fantasy guys and like 6 producers, they can't do what we do. They have no shot at hanging with what we do. And if you don't believe me, if you're new, subscribe to the channel, hang out for a week, and then I will listen to you tell me that I'm wrong. And I'd be glad to hear what I'm doing and what I could do better. I'd love to hear it. Nikki with the super chat, please rate my team. Hold on, we'll rock out one more. JD5, H.N. Hendy, Chase. I think that's Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase, London, Ingram, Buka, bench, Harvey. Awesome team. Hunter and Harvey, Pearsall. How do you leave those guys on the bench? I don't know if we can move Pearsall and Pearsall and what? I mean, I don't want you moving anything. Pearsall and Ingram. Yeah. I mean, using some of the bench value to upgrade Ingram into like McBride. There's nothing. Nikki, your team's exactly what I want it to be in the lineup, so it's really hard for me to suggest that you make a trade. All right, go ahead, rock out, then we'll close out the phone line. Rock out your live final thoughts.
So we still playing Tilly over Dobby?
Tillman? Is that who we're calling
Yeah.
Tilly? Tilly over Dobby, and is Dobby Dobbins or Dobbs?
Dobbs.
I know we're going there.
I just remembered from last night.
I don't know, Rock Out, if I'm changing my mind on that one. Travis, did Ron Navy convince us to go Dobbs, or are we looking at this thing like a Ron Navy's digging into his bag of tricks again?
What was the matchup again? Cleveland versus Cincinnati.
Because
Yeah.
I know Ron
And
Navy
then,
likes him, but
Green Bay versus Detroit.
I mean, Dobbs can have those games, but I feel like they want to throw to Tillman. I don't know.
I like Tillman.
I'm going Tillman, but I can't tell you I'm right.
The
Yeah, I feel you.
The Tillmeister. He's been looking pretty good.
What about in the chat? Someone was asking Dobbs or Chris Rodriguez.
What did Dobbs do can you click on his game log, Rock Out? What did he do his last 3 games, Dobbs?
Let me check. Oh, you got it.
Last 3 games. Yeah, he went. He didn't play week 18, so week 15, 3 for 5 with 40 yards and 2 touchdowns. 2 for 3, 20 yards, no touchdowns. 7 for 11 with no touchdowns.
You have 2 touchdowns in one of those games?
Yeah, and then in the playoffs, he went 2 targets, 2 receptions, 13 yards.
Yeah, he got hurt.
I think he's going to be the same as always, where it's possible to know when he's going to have those.
Yeah, he started the wrong week.
Bengals defense is not that good.
It's going to take like 3 plays to get that game, and then you're just going to have him on the bench at the wrong time.
I would go Tillman just because I think it's a good matchup. I think Tillman's really talented. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick to my guns. Rock out Tillman. I mean, there was a stretch there where Tillman looked phenomenal, and then he got kind of banged up. And all right, rock out. We'll see you later, bro. Appreciate you. See you tomorrow morning.
All right.
We'll be live like at an hour and a half before kickoff. Right later.
All right, cool.
Adam, you're live as quickly as you can, pal.
Yo, Smitty, this is Ricky. Just real quick. So the CMC owner also has Worthy, so both of them went down for him this week, and he's trying to get Sampson out of me because he got Ford, and I kind of got like a crowded wide receiver room right now. So I don't know like your thoughts on like what should I be like trying to get here.
I don't know what he has, so just give me a couple of ideas.
The only 2 players he got that will like start for me is JT or JSN.
What could you give with Sampson to get JSN?
And I was trying to like get JSN or JT, and he was saying that, but mostly JSN, but he was saying that all I want is Sampson and stuff, and he said that he was wanting to wait to hear the news on like Worthy if he's like out for the season.
Then tell him you want to wait to hear the news on whether he really wants to make a trade or not. Because I mean, you're not going to just. I mean,
and then at first I was trying to give him Pickens and Sampson and Garando since he has CMC and he don't have Brian Robinson either. So I was trying to do that for Pickens, but then he said he wasn't gonna do that. So then I was trying to like tell him to divide JSN into 2 receivers, and then I would give him like the choice of his receivers that's not named Travis Hunter, which is Pickens, Keenan Allen, and Hollywood.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like the kind of guy that wants to trade but won't.
This guy has been like, it's been 3 years that he does that. We always like we talk the whole year, but we never trade.
Yeah,
I've literally people like that. I've stopped talking to them, like having conversations, and I'll send an offer. And if they take it, they take it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you end up wasting hours talking to them. Because even if you agree on a trade, they're going to add someone in at the end, or they're going to pull out at the last second, and it's like just mad at me.
Yeah, no, literally after we drafted, I was with him on the phone, and then I told him, I was like, are we going to make a trade this year? And he was like, we try every year, but we're never able to.
Well,
and
I don't know.
Like,
it sounds to me like you could literally say, I'll give you $20 right now if you just take it. He's like, oh, I don't know, we'll see. I mean, just, I don't know. Walk away. Walk away. Just let him come to you. Say, I'm done talking to you, bro. You're not gonna do a deal. I'm literally trying to give you your backup running backs, and you don't want them, so I'm just not gonna give them to you. So, see you later.
Yeah, facts.
You might have to change your approach.
Yeah, I'm
All right, man.
gonna do that. Real quick, Smee, what should I do about these receivers? Oh, like these 4 receivers that I got. Like, tough decision every week. You know what I mean?
What are they?
I mean, Travis Hunter is like untouchable. He's starting every week, but George Pickens, Hollywood, and Keenan Allen, basically. I gotta start 2 of them.
While this sounds like it's a tough decision now because Keenan Allen played well, And Hollywood's getting oversaturated. I'm not sitting Pickens, bro. I'm not sitting Hunter. I'm not sitting Pickens. You got good depth right now. That's not a bad thing. But
it's a 40 man too.
Pickens is a 5th round player.
Smitty, would you be, and I don't know if you'd want to do it, but would you be opposed to giving Sampson, Allen, and Hollywood to get JSN? I don't know if you would do that.
I mean,
I know it's
easy, bro. I was offering like fucking pick, like.
I don't think he's doing anything.
Wanting that, so I was like, bro, I'll give you 2 receivers then.
I don't think he's doing any trades, to be honest with you. I think
he's not doing
this is a guy who likes to flirt with the Flames, but never wants to actually, get near the fire.
Never wins either.
Yeah, that's don't worry about it. All right, man. Appreciate you. Hunter and Pickens. I'm not benching those guys yet. Way too early in the.
What about the other one, Hollywood or Keenan Allen? Play the matchup.
Well, you mean you have to pick one of those guys? So you're starting Pickens, Hunter, and one more. Yeah, probably play the matchup. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I got Hollywood this week. Next week against Philly, so I'm not sure how that's gonna look like.
Yeah, let's approach that next week.
So I'm kind of like stacking the KC offense right now.
Yeah. All right, man. Call in the morning. We'll be here in the morning, about an hour and a half, right before kickoff. Later. Scotty, do as quickly as you can because I'm on my way out the door. I answered for you, but the phone lines are closed. What I said, you know what? Scotty needs our help from Hawaii. What's up, Scotty?
Yes, I do, man. I'm not. Hey, it's Hawaii time. Last minute, Bobby over here.
What can I do?
I got 2 questions, dude. Out of these receivers, who do you start in a 3-receiver set? I have Adams. I think obviously Adams. I'm gonna start him. But BTJ, Adams, Debo, Sutton, Diggs. And then I have a second question after that one, real quick.
You're starting how many?
So I need 3 of the 5.
Okay. Well, I don't know why we're wasting my marker on BTJ and probably Adams. So you just need 1 out of Diggs, Debo, and Sutton.
Correct.
Really, it's Debo and Sutton.
Yeah.
You
wasted my marker. Here.
That's a tough one, man.
I mean, Sutton's the safest. He's so disrespected. But
he's their number 1.
I like Debo, but yeah, I'm gonna say Sutton. But honestly, this could flip either week. Every week it could be different. But that's not that hard. All right, anything else?
One more question.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's no flex spot, but I have Hendy, Bucky, and Kyron. Which 2 of the 3 do I start, man? Another tough question.
Bucky and Kyron. Well, as much as I want to say you can't ever bench Kyron, you are drafting Bucky and Hendy higher for a reason. Not to say that we wouldn't take Kyron where we're taking Bucky if his ADP was there, so you could honestly, I guess make that argument that, well, actually, just because we had to take Kyron lower doesn't mean we could take Kyron lower doesn't mean we wouldn't have. So matchup wise, you got
Baltimore, Buffalo. That. Atlanta, Tampa, right? Yep.
So this is
so Bucky for sure.
At Buffalo. Bucky's. I can't sit Bucky. But I mean, how do you sit Henry? Yeah, how do you sit Henry? You just can't. I mean, you got to make a trade.
No,
bro.
Hendy, Kyron, or Bucky. It was a 10-man superflex league that I drafted in like July, dude. So I got Henderson in like, I don't know, the 8th round or something crazy.
All right. Okay. Wasting my marker with Bucky again. So take that out then.
So right now I have Bucky and Kyron in my lineup, and Hendy's is on my bench. But I mean, I feel like I could do a trade in the future, or just sit on it, man.
Well, you're going to struggle with this every week, and I mean, we're not going to really be able to help you. Right? It's like this is like throwing a dart. I mean, the Bucky thing you shouldn't even mention, but Hendy and Kyron.
You can't flex one of them.
Yeah, who
No,
you?
it's got no flex. There's no flex in this league. I don't know why I didn't got a flex, but I was like, whatever. Well,
Hold on, I got the answer. Eeny, meeny, miny, catch a tiger. Catch a Kyron by the toe.
a good one.
Like Kyron's safe. Kyron's a safe option.
I'm gonna flip a silver. I'm gonna flip a silver piece. All right, you call. Heads is gonna be the Buffalo, and tails will be the mint initials. Ready? Call it out.
Yeah. Okay, heads.
Head. Well, for who?
Oh.
Heads for Hendy. Heads for Hendy. There you go. All right.
Yeah, man.
Heads for Hendy. There you go. I don't know. I mean, I'd probably say like he's a rookie.
I was gonna.
You could throw Kyron out there for you could throw the rookie on the bench and say, you know what, I started Kyron Williams who scores a touchdown every time he plays. So I'm fine with the Kyron move this week. Make a trade, bro. Make a trade. All right, gotta go, Scotty. I gotta go. Or I'm never
Okay, man. You have a good night, dude.
All right, see you. Call in the morning, or see you in the morning. I don't know if
All right, brother.
phone line's open. Travis, anything else?
Just two things real quick. In redraft, what's your feeling on Kamara? I know the age thing is a factor, but he's never been worse than a top 16 running back. I was just kind of looking at it and wanted to know your feelings on him. In redraft.
I think that there's a decent to low chance, or low to decent chance that he plays well the whole year and just kind of maybe fades a little bit, but still plays well. Not as great. He's going to start off good or have a stretch where he's great. But there's, I think, a higher percentage chance, but it's not a lock, that he has the year Mixon had. He goes through the length of like a college season, and then he just. But, I mean, you got to think about that this offense sucks. There's no quarterback. Kamara is going to be used and abused, and he just might, because he's older and he's going to be used and abused and face 8-man front after 8-man front, that he's going to fall apart come week 10. That's going to be my fear.
That's the thing that people don't always think of, is that there's good receivers there, but if the quarterback play is so bad, they're still going to give him 8-man front.
Yeah, and they'll throw to him, and that's where he's going to get his bread and butter value in those scenarios. But he's getting older, so we'll see. And can the quarterbacks that they have now, suffice? I don't know. I don't know if are they good at checkdowns? Are they good at, figuring that out? Because it's not just as easy as, oh, no one's open, let me just throw it to my running back. Like, you have to still be upright. You have to navigate the pocket. You got to. I mean, it's not that easy. So I don't know. All right, last question.
All right. Last question. I got to choose a flex. Odunze, Ollie, or Sharps. And do you think Odunze is going to be the number one there? Because it feels like it to me.
I don't know if there will be a number one, because I don't know that Caleb is a mess. So I just think that he's going to be scrambling around, and if he's not, he's going to be. I think Ben Johnson's going to have to do the adapting. I don't think that they're going to force Caleb to be a pocket passer. I don't think it's going to work. So I don't know. We'll see. And so trusting Odunze and DJ. So I guess
Odunze, Ollie, Sharps.
I guess I would go Ollie, but it is a risk. It's high risk, high reward. It's Ricky Bobby time. You're not first or last. It's balls to the wall. Sharps feels pretty safe, but then again, can we envision Walker getting 9 carries and Sharps getting 8, and neither one having maybe, but I also know they're going to run the ball well, I think. Maybe the game script won't allow for it. It's hard to say. I mean, Seattle has looked good, but maybe the Niners figure out a way to slow them down. I don't know. It's a really, really tough call.
You'd lean on Ollie for that.
I think I would, but I'm admitting that it could be a grave mistake. But I just think that, you know, the fact that he is
definitely not a doomsday.
Not right now, but I'm open-minded to it, but just not right now. But the fact that Miami Mike is really, you know, trying to like answer all these Ollie Gordon questions, and, you know, especially when Tyreek Hill's like, you take Achane out of the lineup at the goal line, what Miami Mike said when he went to the podium. I don't know if anybody knows the backstory here, but he went to the podium and said, like, Tyreek Hill pissed him off, you could tell. And maybe he wasn't that mad, but he was annoyed because Tyreek Hill was he was basically saying what they were doing in practice and had already decided as an organization, not that they're going to take Achane out on all goal line work, but that they need to get the ball to Ollie Gordon at the goal line. And so they've been practicing it in practice. Ollie Gordon's been getting the ball. And then when asked the question, Tyreek Hill didn't say like, oh, you'll wait and see what our coaches have cooked up, or Ollie Gordon's already our goal line back. Like, instead, he's like, no, yeah, this is like my idea. You take Achane out. Let's try that. Let's see if I'm right. And so when Miami Mike went to the podium to answer questions from reporters, and they're like, what do you think about Tyreek Hill saying take Achane out, put Gordon in at the goal line? He was so annoyed. He's like, oh, you mean what we're already doing in practice? Like, what next question? Like, he was really annoyed by it. So it's like, we know that the blueprint is to get him the ball at the goal line. Doesn't mean that Achane comes out. Achane's very, you know, they can put them both in, or they could pretend they can go to Ollie twice and then pretend they're going to do it again and then throw the ball to Achane the third time, and they could have 3 touchdowns between the two of them at the goal line. You know, so people need to understand, like, Tyreek Hill was out of line the way he described it. They both need to be used at the goal line, but Ollie Gordon is going to be the short yardage goal line guy, and the guy that you're going to get the ball to when you need, you know, 2 or 3 yards, and not to mention they're going to give a lot of carries to him. So Ollie Gordon, final answer. All right, Travis, I'll see you in the morning. I'll be live about an hour and a half. All right, later, bro. Appreciate you. All right. Phone lines are done, closed. Won't even see your calls. Let me get through these super chats, and then we are out of here until the morning. Need to start 2, Hunter, Debo, or Hendy full PPR. Hunter, Debo, or Hendy full PPR. I would go Hendy and Hunter, and that's not an easy thing to say. Start 2, Pearsall, Walker, Hunter. I'm going Hunter, and probably Pearsall for safety and PPR. Walker in half PPR, or definitely non-PPR instead of Pearsall. But Hunter's getting in there, and Pearsall is just safer overall as a second option. Bryce Young or Bo Nix? Bo Nix. Not that anything's possible, but I think it'll be a shootout. Bryce looked great. Trust your gut then, L. I mean, it could go either way, but I'm not sitting Bo Nix. He's like a top 5 to 7 quarterback for me. And then Life, appreciate you. Traded CMC and Tyreek Hill and Drake May and Stevenson for Gibbs, Pickens, Davis, and Stroud. Love. Nice, bro. Wow, that's a lot. Getting Gibbs is crazy. And Pickens is fantastic. You crushed on that trade. Absolutely lambasted him. 12-team PPR, I'm looking to pick up Thornton in free agency. Would you drop Kyle Pitts, Braylon Allen, or Thornton? Or for Thornton. I would probably say you need to maybe, if Pitts is your backup, you could. If you needed to make this move and wanted to make this move, I think that's not a bad move either way, but it wouldn't be a bad thing to wait on Braylon Allen, because what if he's getting tons of work and then they trade Brees and he becomes something special? But the only thing I'll say about Braylon Allen is that he had a chance last year and he looked good at one point and then he just crapped the bed. But I would say probably okay with the Pittman-Thornton swap depending on your team need. Okay, so I'm not saying I'd for sure approve it, but it's something you could definitely do 12-team home league, full PPR, double flex. JD5, Genty, Pollard, Tank, Caleb. Wide receivers are London, Garrett Wilson, Pickens, Mims, Thornton. Thoughts on who to target with my flex spot, Garrett and Mims. I guess I'm trying to trade Garrett Wilson and Pollard, or you're not going to trade Mims. No one wants Mims. No one wants Jaden Higgins on a trade. No one wants Dante Thornton, really, at least not enough to give up a ton. Garrett Wilson or Pickens with potentially Caleb would be a good move, or Pollard. So you're looking at Kyron's, you're looking at Harvey's, you're looking at Hendy's, you're looking at Hampton specifically because he had such a struggle bus week. And you give up Garrett Wilson and a and, you know, probably not Garrett Wilson. Let's say you give up Pollard. Try giving up Pollard and Caleb, Pollard and Tank Bigsby. Try doing that first. And running backs are hard to come by, so it's possible you don't have to touch the wide receivers in doing this. But I definitely would consider moving Garrett Wilson and Pollard for a monster for Kyron. Hampton might not even be enough straight up right now as fair market value. You might be able to get Hampton and something. Bucky, obviously. If you can trade Pollard and Garrett Wilson for Bucky, for Achane, for players like that, just that's a league-winning move for you. But Garrett Wilson ups the ante. Garrett Wilson maybe turns you into a first or equivalent player, first-round type player. And that's a difference maker for you, bro. That's a massive difference maker. JD5, Genty, London, love the core of this team. You're one move away, Alex, from being what I would consider like a blindly looking at your team and saying, I don't even need to see the rosters. You tell me it's a 12-man or a 10-man or 8-man, I can tell you whether it's a potential league winner in the top 3, and your team would be there if you made that one trade. I'm live in the morning. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel. There's the prompt for that. This has been a 3-hour and 1-minute live stream. Appreciate all of your super chats. Appreciate every single one of you. I'm live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern every single Monday through Friday. I'm also live whenever big news breaks. I'm also live like this show tonight, midnight Eastern, almost every single night. Don't forget to get on over to Underdog if you want to draft with us next time. Smash this link right here. This link will get you $5 will get you 50. You play 5, get 50. That link is pinned in the live chat as well. Make sure you use promo code Smitty, which is what that link does. If for any reason you slip in the door at the app store, download the app on your own, and it says, how'd you find out about us? You can type in Smitty and you get that $5 played wins you 50 in bonus cash. Don't forget to play these if you want to do any sort of hires. We've got these up on screen. These are fantastic. We got Kyron, 68 yards. Buka has got to get 57 yards. Henderson's got to get 40. RJ Harvey's got to get 36. And Travis Hunter's got to get 48 yards. These are home runs, Underdog Fantasy. Again, link is pinned in the live chat and it's in the description. It'll help you play these. These are so phenomenal to play. Those hires are crazy. Don't forget to get on over to the Patreon. The Patreon link is also in the live chat being dropped right now. It's also in the description of every video. Here's the Patreon link. I'll see you guys all on the Patreon tonight. And then we're on the Patreon the entire morning, afternoon, and evening games. Just sitting there the whole time, live chatting. That link I just dropped. If you want to be a part of the Patreon, please click that link and sign up. Cancel anytime. Try it for 1 month for $10. You hear your buddies go, I got a group chat. Or you hear people talk about that, and you're like, I don't have a group chat. Now you do. Wear your group chat. $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Just try it. See you all tomorrow. About an hour to an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours before kickoff. Alex with the final super chat says, start for flex, not trade. But thank you, Alex. Okay, I'm sorry. Well, I was just giving you trade advice, but let me, Alex, pull up your super chat 1 second. I got Bijan. Oh, that's a different one, right, Alex? Hold on. Alex, 12 team double flex. So, I mean, if you want me to give you your starters, JD5, Genty, Pollard, London, Garrett Wilson. You probably already started Pickens. If you can only start 2 wide receivers and then the double flex, then Garrett Wilson would go in. You've already started Pickens. So London, Garrett Wilson, and Pickens, and then your extra player, your third player, I would say do Tank Bigsby, bro. He's a co-starter. Alex, does that fit your lineup? Tank Bigsby's the co-starter. I just think he's got solid upside. Let me know if that answered your question properly, Alex, before I hit the end button. Appreciate you. Thank you, Alex, for letting me know. Alex to the moon. Aaron, appreciate you. Go Pats. Thank you very much for the super chat. See you on the Patreon. And then $20 haulers tonight. We had Key Wade, Taj with a $20 hauler. Jesse, appreciate you, Jesse. Donovan, thank you for the $20 hauler. Jared, appreciate you. Jared, appreciate you. 1 million, appreciate you. Big homie, appreciate your $20 hauler. Sam, your $20 hauler. Ian Goats, appreciate your $20 hauler. You guys absolutely rock. You're amazing. Key Wade, appreciate your 38-month membership. You said Smitty to the moon. Colt celebrating his 2-month membership. Appreciate you. KJV, 15-month membership. Not only the best FF show, but the only FF show. Appreciate you, KJV. You still here, KJV? Thank you so much. I usually do these celebratories at the end. So if anybody's ever looking for their celebratory message response, I usually do it at the end. Hunter or MHJ in the flex. I got London and BTJ. Hunter is higher risk, higher reward. MHJ is maybe lower ceiling, but safer. And you did draft him earlier, but I don't know. I'm not really worried about that. I want to start the right players, regardless of draft position, because the draft's over. And sometimes we're taking Hunter later because we can, not because we actually value him less than BTJ. I'm going to go Hunter if it's me. And I think I've answered that a couple different ways, double talking tonight. But like I've said, it's so close. If the wind's blowing one direction, I'll answer it one way. If the wind's blowing another direction, I'll answer it the other way. Just the nature of that kind of call. I'm going to go Hunter. Hunter, final answer for any of you with the Hunter MHJ dilemma. Damn it. That's a hard one. See you all in the morning, at least an hour and a half before kickoff. Deuce.